century of World Cups, it's not just the football that's changed. Stadiums have gone from concrete behemoths to technological marvels, and the giant monolithic arenas help to define tournaments. Back in 1930, the world embraced its greatest spectacle for the first time. Uruguay was the host, and in just 90 days, they built a stadium that's still there today. It was a gargantuan effort to pull together the 90,000 capacity Estadio Centenario, one of only 3 venues for that tournament, that would act as a monument to 100 years of Uruguayan independence. If that was the World Cup's birthplace, Mexico City's Estadio Azteca became its cathedral. Some of the World Cup's most iconic moments happened on this grass, including this, of course. Also, both Pelé and Maradona lifted the trophy in the Azteca. A bit of pub quiz ammo for you there, you're welcome. In England, there's no more special place to us than Wembley, the scene of our greatest triumph. And yes, it definitely was a goal. Some incredible stadiums across the world have hosted matches, but you don't have to have a modern-day spaceship of a ground to make it memorable. Take 2006, for example, and here. The memories of what happened at Berlin's Olympiastadion show events on the pitch can elevate a stadium in the minds of fans worldwide. But that doesn't stop us from marvelling at modern triumphs of engineering. Let's jump ahead to Qatar and take a look at this, the Lusail Stadium. This gorgeous golden bowl hosted the frankly unbelievable final in 2022. But that's not where it ends in Qatar. Take Stadium 974, for example. This place was built from shipping containers and can be taken down and built somewhere else. Mad. It's crazy to think that we've gone from building giant concrete bowls to what is basically modern art. To be fair, some concrete bowls, like the Maracanã, are art in its most flawless form. The teams and the players are why we all come, but sometimes the stage they perform on ends up being the main character. And with structures like this, it's hardly a surprise.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the World Cup Weekender. I always want to say it like that, Weekender, like the song. With me, Jonny Owen, alongside experienced football manager, the gaffer himself, Sean Dyche. On today's show, we're going to discuss the Mexico versus England kick-off time hokey-cokey and look ahead to the game, of course, and discuss whether World Cup fever has finally sucked you in. We're also going to be talking about our favourite World Cup player. So many to pick from. You can go way back to Pelé in 70, Cruyff 74, Kempes 78, Rossi 82, Gaza 90, Zidane 98, the Ronaldo in 02. You tell us the player you remember from what World Cup, and we'll have a chat about that. I mean, just quickly, Sean, I always thought like the 2 World Cups won by Germany and Spain, they were like they were great teams. There wasn't a player. This World Cup is about players again, I think. Mbappe.
Yeah, it's become the big guns are turning up.
Yeah,
not just the teams, because to be fair, the big teams are turning up.
Yes,
I know we'll speak about Argentina going close, but generally speaking, they're turning up. But the big guns are turning up.
Messi.
Anyway, by the way, happy birthday!
Oh, thank you very much.
Your birthday.
Yes,
Come on,
birthday,
don't you be top of the show.
Your birthday last week, my birthday this week.
I love that woke one. Happy Born Day. Someone says that to me, I'm going to have to clip them. I can't let that set to work nonsense. I'll tell you that. Happy Born Day. Come on.
55 times round the sun.
Yeah,
still
amazing.
That'll do me.
30 again, I will say. 30 again.
Yeah, exactly, 30 at heart. The managerial merry-go-round hots up, and we're joined by a man who played at the top level for both club and country, for former Republic of Ireland international Stephen Reid, good friend of ours.
Go on, Reid.
And with the sun set to shine across the UK, we're going to put together our mixtape, Sean, of drive-in and barbecue songs. Do you like a barbecue? Are you a barbecue man?
Oh, yeah.
Are you?
Meat feast, isn't it?
Yeah. It's true.
What a silly question you're asking me. I like a meat feast.
My mate pointed that out once. He said, when you have a meal, usually you just have one piece of meat. Imagine
all of our wonderful listeners when you just said that. They're all nodding in their cars or whatever, going, yeah, he's he's having a barbecue all day.
Like a Viking.
Yeah, that with a bit of gravel.
With a giant drumstick, like a baseball bat. Yeah.
Going, yeah. Possibly a couple of pints involved. Who knows?
So please message us. You were brilliant when we were on the other week talking about your favourite World Cups. Now we're talking about favourite World Cup players, and have the big players turned up for you this tournament? I think so. Harry Kane, Mbappe, Messi, they're all up there, aren't they, with the goals they've scored, and all that to come on the music. Oh, not the music, and the music, of course. Well, send in your thoughts. Is this a good playlist for driving on a sunny day? The World Cup Weekender on talkSPORT. All right, then, here we go. The World Cup fever catching. Do you know what, Sean? I just thought I'd start with this because I always get sort of accused, most of it's sort of like positive, of mentioning Merthyr Tydfil within sort of 25 seconds.
Yeah, I've had a bit of that with Kettering Town.
Here we go.
Always try and get them in. At least we mentioned them.
We've got them both in. And the reason I can bring Merthyr in this, and it's part of the conversation, I like to think, a lot of stuff about Mexico. Obviously, we'll talk about the change of the kick-off, but also the altitude. And this puts it into perspective, right? Merthyr play at the highest ground in Wales and England and Scotland, a top-level team. Merthyr is, we all know famously, Hawthorns is the one, isn't it? 551 feet above sea level, right? In Scotland, I thought it would have been somewhere. It's not. It's Borough Briggs. They're 203 feet, right? Okay. I thought it'd be somewhere in the Highlands, but no. Merthyr come in at a grand 700 feet, and we always thought this was a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Check this out. So if you consider Merthyr now is the highest in Wales, Scotland and England, 700 feet. The Azteca, Sean, is 7,200 feet above sea level.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
I mean, like, that's got to give you an advantage,
I know they keep... I mean, look, we don't know how, but if I was a manager, I wouldn't keep mentioning it because obviously you want to get it out of the players' minds because they're going to get bombarded with it.
Yeah.
But I remember we discussed, and everyone was discussing, the hydration breaks. I think we all know the reason.
Yes.
But the hydration breaks, yeah.
Yeah.
So now everyone's discussing that it's got to be a level playing field. And then you go, okay, and then we discussed the idea of the temperature, so air conditioning against non, so it was like 18 degrees to 33.
Yes.
Then you throw in the altitude, and you go, it's not a level playing field then, is it?
No.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That one really is ridiculous.
It literally isn't a level playing field.
Yeah. Good point. No, but scientifically,
no, you're right.
It's not a level playing field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not me making it up. I'm not just throwing it around. I'm no genius scientifically, science-wise, but I do understand the effects it has on your body compared to not. Of course, back in our day, in our day when we were young, all the athletes, the famous days of Coe and Ovett, and, Cram and all them, they used to go altitude training, didn't they?
They did.
So therefore, it's got to be a real thing.
It is.
So
well, boxers do it.
It's got to be an advantage.
Boxers will go to places of high altitude to train, to run and things like that.
Well, the other thing about men, they're 10th, they're ranked, FIFA ranked 10th. Now, I'm not obsessed with this, but I do like it. I like the idea. You're ranked for a reason, for the amount of different things you do as a team.
Yes.
They're no mugs, you know what I mean? And they've got the altitude and the country, the feeling for the fans, the country. I mean, it's a big ask. But come on, England, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say this. I mean, Mexico, interestingly, are one of those countries where you'd think they'd have the history of somewhere like an Argentina or Brazil because the amount of people that play football, it's their number one sport.
Yep.
This boxing is fantastic, but they love it, right? And El Tri is the name of their international team. They've got these amazing leagues, superbly well supported. But yet, historically in World Cups, they haven't done particularly well, not for a country their side. And we were talking, their most famous player, is Hugo Sanchez.
Yeah, Hugo Sanchez.
He was always the one we always...
because he's over a kick and all that.
Real Madrid, yeah. Whereas, they're a country that probably is starting to think for the first time, hey, we've got a chance here because you're playing at home, all that advantage.
Yeah, I mean,
through to the
we spoke about when we started on the World Cup, one of our first shows, we spoke about the outsiders, and I said Japan. I thought it was a real outsider. Mexico, just on the maybe.
Yeah. And
so far, they've been in good form. I mean, I hope they're not, obviously, come Monday night at 1 a.m. or whatever it is. But, it's one of them, isn't it? You think it's just a feeling. Sometimes it's not an exact science, but you look player for player. You look the team cohesion. I think that's important. It's not just your players. Of course, we've already mentioned that the big guns are turning up, the big individuals. But the team cohesion is the key to it. That's the real key, and they seem to have that so far. Anyway, this World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a very interested neutral observer,
of course,
I do think that if England win that is a huge test to come through, and then you've got to be thinking, hey, we can go all the way.
Yeah, but then the challenge is, have you seen the run after that?
It is, it's possibly Brazil and Argentina, is that right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, it sounds such a cliche, but you've got to beat the best to win.
Oh, no,
that's the point, isn't it?
It's a fair shout. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get a bit more of a lucky road through.
You do.
I'm sure I'm no historian, I know you're good at it, but down the years of the history of the World Cup, there are probably a few runs where teams have had you've got
to have luck, Sean, as well.
Yeah.
So they all talk about.
Yeah.
You've got to have a bit of luck.
And even more so now with more teams in it.
Yes.
But look, I think we are earning the right, whichever way you look at it.
Yeah.
I think we could do better than we played in the last game.
Yeah.
We come through it, but I think we could do better. And I think we're going to have to do better. I think that's for sure, especially against Mexico, because of all the reasons other than just the tactical reason of the performance, because of all the fitness, the expectation of the crowd, the feeling there, and the altitude and everything. I think it all goes into the melting pot this time, more so than the other games.
I always think, my theory is, it's just my theory, if you've got two world-class players in a team, it's very difficult to play against, because one, you think, we can sit, but two, and I believe, listen, Wales in 2016, we did have two world-class players at that point at the top of the game, Ramsey and Bale, so we went a long way. England have got two world-class players for me, Bellingham and Kane.
Yeah, Bellingham's turning up.
They are, and they're the top of the game.
Kane.
That's why I think you've got a chance, because you've got to cope with two then, haven't you?
You nearly just turned into Cluffy there. You went, I believe.
It was a fraction, Sean. A fraction. No, I just think it's exciting now, isn't it? The World Cup. I think
it's been really good.
I've been sucked in as well.
And I think we both bump into loads of football fans around what we're doing when we're having a beer and all that, and they're all the same. I think most people have gone. And not only, I think you mentioned it earlier. Not only right, it's a World Cup, so that's a big enough thing. Yeah. But some of the past World Cups, the first day, Serge, have been early rounds, easy for me to say. Yeah. Early rounds, they've been really methodical and organised. They were not wanting to give a lot away, but these rounds have been some really exciting games, including England, of course, the first game. Yeah. Real good feel to it. And I think it's added to it. And then you add in the big guns turn up, because, historically there's always a story about this player's going to be brilliant, and then they haven't played well and all that. Yeah. But the big guns have turned up, the big teams have turned up, and even the small teams are turning up, which has made it even more exciting. I know we'll mention about Cape Verde, but I think that's added to the whole mix of the World Cup. And, of course, the way it's been run, seemingly, we both know people are out there and they've said it's been fantastic. Yes. Just the actual organisation, the stadiums, and all that is the World Cup. So I'm sure everyone's so far in it delighted. But, of course, inevitably certainly I, not necessarily yourself, want England to go and win it.
Well, it is interesting what you said about last night. We the Argentina game against Cape Verde. Incredible. I mean, for a country of that size, and a country, like you said, talking about history, of the historical.
Some of the quality, I was looking at the stats, and they're not just laid down, No. They've not literally partly, but of course there's spells when you have to do that, when you're playing teams like Argentina, you're Cape Verde for blooming, for blooming next sake.
Yes.
Well then.
No.
You're
all right.
Good job I didn't, No, but like for them, they've got to shut up shop at times. They've got to have a bit of luck. The keeper's got to play well, which he did.
He did.
But equally, the second goal for them is absolutely top draw. Superb. They can still find a moment. I think they've been a revelation. I think everyone knows that. I was reading the other day, because I don't know much about it, Cape Verde, but 600,000 people. The odds of getting them people to play in a World Cup and then deliver. And I was as critical as anyone has been, to be fair, about some of these small nations. Almost like, why? What are they doing there? Well, I've got that wrong, because most of them have done well. And the thing that I'm really impressed with, from a manager's, put my manager's hat on, is, they've relied on doing the basics really well, strong, fit and organised, and still believing they've got enough talent to win a game. Yeah. I think that's brilliant. I think for teams who are so unfancied, come in and go, don't just write us off, don't just mug us off, don't just think we're just going to roll over. Yeah. They're like, we're at a World Cup. Yeah. We're going to give it everything we've got. And that's what you want as a fan. You want to see your team give everything they've got. And you'll take it if they lose. Yeah. But some of these teams have been exceptional.
And there is the romance of the smaller nation. Listen, when Cape Verde scored the second goal, I cheered as if it was Wales had scored, because
I couldn't agree more.
You want to see those sort of giants.
Yeah, I think I mean, look, the English way, actually, it is sort of an underdog way. It's always been there since I was a kid, the British Bulldog and all that kind of mentality. Yeah. And I think it's sort of bred into it, or certainly my generation. So I think you feel that for other teams as well, for the nations, And I think, like anything, when you see authenticity in anyone and any sport, I think that's the key, mate. Yeah. And I'm looking at some of them. I'm looking at Cape Verde, and I didn't catch the full game last night, obviously, because it was late when we were in here, but watching the clips and the highlights, the meaning, the purpose, it's not just hang on football and let's hope for. I mean, of course they need a bit of luck along the way. Yeah, you do. But so does everyone. Yeah. The big guns still need a bit of luck along the way. You know what I mean? So I think it's been, I couldn't agree more in the general, the general feeling I get from not just me and you, but not just from the wonderful talkSPORT listeners, but, people in the street, when you're talking to them about football and the World Cup, it seems to me like 95% of people are going, it's been a very good World Cup so far.
It has indeed.
More to come.
Well, we'll be talking about it all this afternoon. As I said, we're going to be going over to talk to talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, and getting a feel for what it's like, sort of to be out there. And I think that's the big thing, really, Sean, isn't it? That if it keeps getting... There's two things could happen. We were chatting about it. it can tighten up because obviously as you're getting towards, and lots of games end up in penalties. But also there's those great, like the final in the last World Cup, where they just become humdingers and they go at each other.
I woke up randomly the night and then put on Portugal versus Croatia.
Yeah.
What a game.
Oh, fantastic.
Second half was brilliant.
That was my favourite game so far.
They're having it. They're both having it. And I mean, that is not easy to do. It sounds easy, and it made me laugh the first game when they said, Tuchel had said, take the handbrake off.
Yeah.
If it was that easy, we'd all do it every game.
Yeah.
But they did. They were both teams just going, right, we want to win it. They want to win it. We want to win it. It was brilliant. And I don't think that's an easy thing to do. And sometimes games actually, they unload into that situation. The manager might not set them up like that, and they just open up. And sometimes it's because the manager's directive. So
I'm going to have a little chat after the break. We'll go to the break. Because stay with us. So we'll have a little chat about that hair that touched the ball and they stopped. And I can ask you about a law change that I didn't even know it happened. And you, a manager, said it changes all the time. So stay with us.
We've already established you're a deluded Arsenal fan. What do you make of Morgan Rogers and £130 million?
You know what? I saw O'Hara going absolutely mad on was it? He was somewhere. He was talking. Yeah, and he was talking about the prices, etc. And I do actually think he's right, man. I think the prices have gone absolutely crazy. But it's one of those where, as crazy as it is, number one, it's not my money, and number two, football makes so much money. They're only going to spend where they think they can get the money back. So as much as it's crazy for us and we go, oh my gosh, these crazy prices, they're making money selling people shirts on the back end anyway, and all these expensive tickets and everything that's going on. So someone can afford it.
Do you need him though, Joel? Because I agree with Benty when I've listened to Benty say that you've got Eze, you've got Odegaard, you've got Ranieri, Downman coming back, but don't you need a proper left winger? I know Martinelli can do good things, Trossard, okay, but wouldn't that money be well spent elsewhere?
I think he's so good that if he's available, you take him. I really do. I think in the Premier League,
30 million.
It's not my money. If they can afford it,
but that will
why
take,
do we care?
Because I'm guessing you've only got a certain amount of money to spend in this window, and 130 million will be a huge chunk of it. Wouldn't you rather spend that chunk of it on a left-sided midfielder?
It depends on who's available, though, Andy. Like nowadays, who's available? If I was to ask you, who do we get? If it's not him, who?
Nico Williams.
I mean, that would be amazing.
Barcola.
He's signed a contract though. With,
he don't want to leave, does he?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's look, Kvaratskhelia, however you say his name, he would have been brilliant like a couple of years ago, but we missed the boat on that. I don't want Rafael Leao. The option of Rashford, I've been hearing, but
what does it say about the Eze transfer though, Joel? If you're going for Morgan Rogers now, after Eze signed last summer, what does it say about that transfer?
Yeah, but Eze is more central though. Morgan Rogers, I'm not saying he doesn't play central, but I'm assuming
he plays his best stuff in the centre, mate, not on the left.
I know, but if you've got all those players, you're going to have to squeeze them in somehow.
Jonny Owen here with Sean Dyche on the World Cup weekend. We're playing great summer driving songs, barbecue songs. Listen, if you're driving down towards Mexico, Sean, top off your car, Alfa Romeo, got this playing. driving across the desert.
Yeah, it's a cool tune. Cool
It is a
tune.
great tune.
To be honest, I'm thinking along Calvin Harris Summer.
Yeah.
Josh Gigante, he's got a good song at the minute with Camelback, yeah, called So Good. That's really good, very summery. Lola's Theme, Shapeshifters. I love all them kind of dance songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sons of Love.
Yeah, Waterfall, off one of the greatest albums ever. Probably the greatest debut ever, I'd argue.
Yeah.
Stone Roses,
Superb, yeah.
right up there, isn't
Fool's
it?
God, when I heard that, I thought music's changed forever.
Still sounds like the future.
I believe it. Yeah,
Even now, it still sounds
yeah,
like as if it comes from the future.
Yeah, that riff in the
The
background.
marvellous Stone Roses. Listen, already getting some wonderful texts and messages in about World Cup. We've got a great one here. Mario Kempes. I wasn't born, but my dad told me about him last night, and it was his first World Cup he can remember. I never see my dad look so happy telling me a football story. So for that, he's got to be a World Cup favourite. Thank you, Jonny and Dyche, legends. Oh, you didn't put your name down, Stan. Let us know who you are.
Yeah.
Hi, Jonny. Will you be supporting England with Vicky? That's John from Rydlan. I'm an interested observer. I obviously want... Listen, I'm married to an English girl. I live in England, and I love the English people.
I think that's fair, yeah.
But in sport, it's a great rivalry, isn't there? Where you have
But to be fair, we've spoken about this because you're the same, and we both agreed that if we weren't doing anything, I'd want Wales. You know, if we got knocked out with Wales with that, I'd go, I want Wales to win. If Wales and Scotland, you know, if we were knocked out, and I'd want Scotland to win.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I include Ireland in that, not just Northern Ireland, you know, because I feel about that with them as well, you know, even though it's not quite us, but I don't know, I was brought up like that, I suppose. My dad always said, you know, support who you can. If you know, if your team, as in England, are out or not made it, then support the next nation.
Is that right? A man of generous spirit, I'd say. That,
but not in a way that you never put them in front of your own. Yeah, you get what I mean. I'm quite open with that. I want everyone to do well. All of our home nations do.
Yeah, well, my old man wasn't like that. Old Brian Owen from the Valleys. Yeah. Dear me, Brian. But listen, let's talk about the change of the kickoff. They've changed it back to sort of both FAs complained, interestingly, so Mexico FA and the English FA both said you can't do this hokey cokey with the kickoff time. And you know, what are your views on it? They were worried about electrical storms and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, look, nowadays, you know, the safety angle, that's a different ballgame, and it has nothing to do with us. We can't do anything about that. But if that's okay and deemed okay, then you can't start messing. I mean, I was reading somewhere, not just on the planning point of view. So first of all, the planning point of view. So, well, me anyway, I'd work backwards from the kickoff time and how we'd plan. So from the last game, straight after, I mean, apart from that, sing for a while. You know, we all know about that one. That's brilliant. And then we had to, I'd pre-plan from that moment onwards, right, how we plan into the next game.
Okay.
So then that changes significantly because you got to remember you're adding in an afternoon sleep. Well, that's a big thing. Right. Now that goes away. Yeah. I'm just talking about the planning side of things.
Yeah.
That's a big one. The afternoon sleep, the eating, you know, the prep, all of that goes into the thinking. Now, I read somewhere, this might not be correct, but I read somewhere that to get that game changed, there'd be like 50,000 stakeholders to change. You know, you got to change everything.
Yeah.
All the, you know, everything that goes with it, the organisation, the fans, of course, getting there.
That's the big one,
isn't it? Big one. Yeah, the fans just physically getting there.
Yes.
I mean, look, for me, just keep it the same.
Yeah.
Now, and like I say, taking the safety thing, I can't decide that. You know, I don't know how bad storms are and all that sort of stuff, but just keep it the same.
Yeah.
For me, and they have done in the end, haven't they? So
yes, I suppose.
Fans as well, that's a big one now. People flying in and that, you know, trying to get there. And then imagine if they went, you're going to be late.
Yeah,
really?
That's as important as the team's preparation.
Absolutely.
Fans get there. You know,
I think
the
that's
fans.
Fair,
I think it's fair as
because if
well.
you're going to put your hand in your pocket and go all the way over there and support your country,
I know.
That's a magnificent effort. So therefore, you can't get there and
Our good mate Steve Willens, Nottingham. He's gone.
I was on the train with him on the way down the other day. Yeah.
Where you off, Steve? Mexico.
No, brilliant. He said, just my mate said, "You fancy it?" He went, "Yeah." So he said, "I just booked the flight straight over to Florida, and then we'll take it." He said, "We'll take it from there and see what happens." I went, "Okay, Steve, you're a class."
I love that attitude. I don't know if anybody is over in America.
Great pub as well, the Trent Nav.
Listening. Yeah, he was. You know, it'd be interesting to see if anybody's over in especially if anybody's in Mexico. I wonder if anybody can they listen to this over in Mexico? Yeah, they can. Or
brilliant.
If you're in Mexico or even America, you're having a shout.
I lived there as a kid. Remember?
You did? Yeah. Where did you live in Mexico?
I can't remember. It was near Ixtapa. I know that. We used to go over to see what to know. Which at the end of this film, The Shawshank Redemption, of course, he goes to
the beach.
See what a neo.
Yeah,
that's what we used to go every weekend.
Wow,
what a strange fact about my life that is.
God.
But yeah, lived there for 3 months.
I just got an image now because that's one of the most famous films and endings ever. And imagine at the time it would be young Sean Dyche.
I know. I actually had a tan.
Did you?
Yeah, can't believe it. Do you remember when we were kids? Remember the program The Love Boat?
Yes.
That was called The Princess, and that actually came in.
Did it?
Yeah, that actually came in. I was like, that's that boat off the film. I mean, the TV program, The Love Boat.
The Love Boat.
Oh, dear, an insight into my weird and wonderful life as a child.
I was saying that today. My missus went, "What do you think of your life now? As your birthday was a bonkers, really."
couldn't we?
Yeah,
I know it's mad, isn't it? I never at the time you just lived, don't you?
Yeah.
I was 7 years old.
Yeah,
My brother's a bit older.
when you're a kid.
But now when I look back, crazy.
Got some great ones here. Mexico 86, Hand of God. This game will be cathartic, hopefully. Yeah, same stadium. It's a great point from Zulf there. Chris has said, Ramsey, world class. He was terrible in the tournament. And another one, JB. Let me explain to you something, though, right? I watched every game in 2016. Aaron Ramsey had a dreadful injury in Stoke, right? Yeah. Any other era, I was told, he'd never played again.
Yeah.
He was held together by string.
Yeah, he did amazing.
He did amazing considering what he did, right? Before that, any Arsenal fan will tell you that boy's potential was
massive talent. Massive.
The fact that he had a career after is remarkable and stuff. But in 2016, what happened was those few weeks, we all seen how he could have, what he would have been like. He was. A lot of Welsh fans would message in saying he was probably better than Bale that tournament.
Yeah, and I remember his journey because he went to Forest, I think, on loan after trying to get back from his knee. And people think you just suddenly get back. It can take months to get back, to real top fitness and peak fluency in the play. You know what I mean? I thought
he did amazing. I mean, that was
top attitude.
It's the worst injury you can have.
Yeah.
I think he broke.
Luckily nowadays everything. It's getting better.
Yes,
that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
10 years, a long time in the medical side of things. I mean, nowadays players are getting over all these injuries way quicker. But
they've made
a very serious injury. A terrific career.
Yes. So there goes, hi guys, can I have a wee shout out? Yes, I think it's got to be going to My Chemical Romance. Ooh. There we are. Another. Sean tonight, of course, is going to
Kasabian, of course. Can't wait.
Park, yes.
All fellas tomorrow.
Yes, he's going to Glasgow. This chap, I can't wait. It will be my daughter's first gig. Oh, your first gig.
Oh, brilliant! Spirit Destiny for me.
Was it for Spirit Destiny? The Alarm for me.
Oh, the Alarm.
Read a car register and Merthyr Tydfil. Another mention of Merthyr then. Where was your first gig? Where was it, Benny?
Rock City.
Oh, Rock City.
Rock City in Nottingham, yeah.
Legendary.
She's there, brilliant.
She's very nervous. Oh, don't be nervous. This is Andy. Tell her that Dad is right. Dad is right, lovely. Yeah. And she's going to love it. You are absolutely going to love it.
Absolutely. I think it's an amazing experience. I love gigs anyway. I always tell you, it's not about the individual bands. I don't know every song. I don't know every word. I just love the atmosphere in gigs, and she'll have a brilliant time.
She'll have a great time. Not just her first gig, and tell her on the first gig she had a shout out from Sean Dyche.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that'll be she'll save it forever.
I see My Chemical Romance, and Sean Dyche mentioned me on radio. Getting loads of people messaging. Let us know who your favourite player was. Somebody's just popped up saying Paolo Rossi in 1982. But what's interesting with Paolo Rossi was he was banned.
He was banned, yeah.
But
was it a long time as well?
I think it was, yeah. I think it was somebody was
double check that.
Betting, but he was the guy that scored the hat-trick against Brazil in 82. Yeah. I watched that as a kid. Remarkable.
And then do you remember the one who came out of nowhere? Well, judging by the reports.
Scalacci,
I knew it. Scalacci. Everyone was like, who's this guy? Because he wasn't really that big a name going into the tournament.
Yes. He was a Sicilian, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was from Sicily, which is quite rare in Italy. They all tend to come from the industrial north.
Yeah.
And he was like a hero. He still is. He died a few years back, didn't he? But he was bald in the thing. Do you remember? And he had hair again.
Yeah.
I kind of he sort of popped up years later with hair. But that World Cup 90. As a Welshman, I'm saying this. Gascoigne was sensational.
Unbelievable. I mean, not just the noise around it. It was actually his performance. His performances covered every blade of grass. Constantly wanted the ball. Never seen a player probably ever be as hungry for the ball.
Yeah.
Now, what a tournament. And what a tournament for England, actually. I mean, we never got there in the end, but you know what I mean?
One of those special ones, wasn't it? So don't forget, you can hear live coverage of England taking Mexico taking them on right here on talkSPORT. I think not in the pub. I think pubs are open. Are the pubs open? Are they not in? Yes, the pubs are open. Hey, you can have it on the pub. Sometimes it's better to turn the volume down. We do that in Wales sometimes. You've got the pictures and the radio commentary. Because radio commentary is very good, isn't it? It's a bit more sort of thing, and people can hear it. From 11 o'clock tomorrow evening, and coming up next, we'll discuss the game, and we want more of your mixtape suggestions. We're getting them in. WhatsApp us on 03717 223344 or text on 81089.
Black Coffee Rapture. There's a tune.
There we go.
You shouldn't get beaten near post, mate.
He shouldn't get. He should not get beat near post. I'm not having it.
That football saying has been knocking around since I was a kid. Right? Why should, in that situation, there's no defender in front of him. He's had a touch. He's got his head up. He's got the goal to aim at. He can go that way. He can go this way. Pickford knows that. Stop saying he shouldn't get beat.
No, but, all right, okay, right.
Are you saying it's a crime?
No, he shouldn't get beat. He shouldn't get beat.
Why not? Why not?
Right, stand there. Right, we've got 2 posts here. Right, that's a goal. Right, please, for me.
What's the goal?
Well, there's the goal. You got a post there and you got a post there. All right, talkSPORT's the goal. All right.
So that's their post.
Yeah, you got.
That's their post.
Yeah, right. You got your Seaman shirt on. Right.
Okay.
Right. I'm the Congo player.
I'm set.
Well, no, you're not set because you're in the middle of the goal. You got to set. You're standing there.
Hold on. That's the post.
That's the near post.
I'm happy.
No, you're not happy.
I'm happy.
No, you're not happy.
What's that?
What do you mean? That's the back post. Don't worry about that. You don't need the mic. All right. People can hear you.
Where are you?
I'm here. I'm the Congo player. I've got the ball.
Get back a bit.
Right. I'm here.
Yeah.
You're standing in the middle of the goal for one. You're in the wrong place.
I'm happy.
No, you're not happy.
I'm happy.
You're not happy.
I'm happy.
Okay, well, I'll score near post.
Okay, but you can score there as well.
No, but that's not where you stand. You stand there.
I stand here.
No, you don't stand outside the post, do you? You stand next to the near post.
Right,
okay. I shouldn't score there.
Okay.
I should not score there.
Where's he going to score?
If he scores there, in the top corner.
No, forget top corner. Where's some top corner?
If he scores there, there's more space. It's a better strike.
Yeah.
It goes across the keeper.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good goal.
So what's wrong with that?
But that's not where Pickford's standing.
Well, he is.
He's not.
That's exactly where he stood.
He's not stood there.
No, I'm not having it, mate.
What do you mean you're not having it?
I'm not having it.
You don't get beaten in the near post.
It's a football saying which needs to be outlawed, right? In a 1v1
situation. Near post.
Stop saying it. What a goalkeeper can get beat near post.
He can't.
He can.
He can't.
In that situation, he can.
Mexico is as big as it is in the World Cup.
In the last 16, England will go to the Azteca.
Maybe one of the most beautiful fixtures and you can have. You play against Mexico in the Azteca.
Viva Mexico! Jimenez makes the run into the area, and the glancing header is his! Fired in by Canonez! Mexico have the first goal!
one tough game. Level of toughness, this is a 9.9.
The altitude is going to be a big problem.
Their record there is unbelievable.
You want to be world champions, you have to go through tough games.
We're better than the Mexicans. We're better than the Mexicans.
Jude Bellingham comes up trumps. On the turn. Oh, what a goal!
When the going gets tough, they show up, and we will do this again.
Yes, Jonny Owen and Sean Dyche here, weekend, World Cup weekend. I just, a little bit of Mike Bassett there, the brilliant Ricky Tomlinson going, we are better than the Mexicans. That was his team talk. That's one of the great, I'll tell you what, when you watch that, it gets better with time.
Yeah, brilliant.
He's got it bang on, isn't he?
Yeah.
Huge game. This is where you feel the World Cup, isn't it? It's a massive game this tomorrow night, Sean.
Yeah, I think it is. And I think, the build-up's massive, the feeling's massive around it. I think it is what you want. Harry Kane just mentioned it there in them little snippets. It is what you want. And you have to go through the fire, so to speak, beat the strongest teams, best team. I just think this is a slightly different one for us. Yeah. With all the rest of the noise and all the altitude and everything.
It's a big test. We're going to have a line here from Marcus Rashford. Let's see what he's got to say about it.
Marcus, what do you think of the Azteca in terms of a venue, and where does it rank in terms of the iconic stadiums that you've played at?
No, I think it's a great stadium. It's obviously worked well for them in the past, but although that's irrelevant to us, we know what we're going there to face, and we have to try to control the game and play our game. And it's as simple as that. Whatever gets thrown at us, we try to deal with it and keep moving forward.
And what are you expecting from Mexico?
I think so far they've shown they're difficult to score against, and they've been scoring goals, especially early on. So. It's a team that's they're setting their ways in terms of playing style, and they're effective. But there's lots of great teams in the tournament, and if we want to get to the final and win it, we're going to have to come up against them and find a way to win.
I mean, he's got to answer it quite rightly in a very sort of structured PR trained football manner. But for me, I mean, like, this stadium was built for the 1968 Olympics, where, the famous Bob Beamon had the long jump record forever. Then 1970, they played the most famous final ever, Pele and the great, that great team. 86, Maradona, hand of God. It's up there in the top 5 football stadiums on the planet, Sean, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Before you worry about anything else.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing as a player, having been one, didn't play at that level in these sort of stadiums, but played at some big ones. You can't, the hardest thing is to lock it in. Yeah. You're nervous, you're anxious, you're building up to the game, and it's that knife edge of success and failure. You're going into it like that. Yes. And it goes like that, and then all of a sudden you go, I didn't really lock in that feeling. It's such a fine line, Yeah. Because you want to be looking forward to these games. You want to go there and open up and play your best football and relax and enjoy the whole thing. Yeah. Knowing that this is an historical marker. And yet, it doesn't really feel like when you're in the business. No. You know what I mean? That's the hardest thing about these stadiums, amazing as they are, and amazing occasions, but to actually lock it in, and remember it and enjoy it, that's the hardest thing when you're a professional. And we were talking just now about Mexico itself and the people and the nation. I mean, they've gone mad for it, haven't they? I mean, 1 million people in the streets and all that kind of thing. Incredible atmosphere. So they really sort of, I suppose they fancy themselves as well. You would, wouldn't you, with their home record and that advantage? The record's incredible. It's astonishing, isn't it? Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, you can imagine the feeling over there must be, it must be bonkers there. And it is, I mean, imagine Cape Verde at the minute. Yeah, yeah. I mean, not on the same scale with people, but that must be going absolutely. The pride they'd feel. Yeah, imagine that last night. Yeah. I mean, that must have been some atmosphere anywhere in Cape Verde, around the people of Cape Verde. Yeah. But no, going back to Mexico, I mean, it's incredible for them as well, not just for us. We want to win and all that, but it's one of them funny things, isn't it? People presuppose, but we want to win more. Well, do we? Because there's going to be a stadium full of Mexican people. Trust me, they're going to be wanting to win. Yeah. So I was like, well, we'll see. It's true. Let's have a little chat then about, obviously, the big talking point this week for England has been the right back position. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, where do you stand on all this, Sean? Well, the bigger picture, I was surprised. I said it on our first show, I was surprised Jed Spence made it. Not because he's not a good player, by the way. I just didn't think he was England ready for this sort of tournament, but that's the manager's job and his staff, and they've chosen him. Then I said he should play the last game, which I believe, what is the point in taking right by there if you're not going to play him in their natural slots? Yes. Don't think it went as well as they'd have hoped, and certainly not by my opinion, I saw Tuchel screaming at him during the game, which suggested he wasn't doing the job that he wanted him to do. No. lot of talk with Rice going out there. I mean, the challenge for that, right, from a manager's point of view, if I'm chatting with my staff about this, you'd be going, yeah, could we do that? Yes, we could, of course. But then we not necessarily weakened, but we changed the dynamic of the midfield. And then the midfield have been really strong, I think, so far this tournament.
Yeah.
And 3 top players in there.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you risk changing that dynamic when that's going to be really important? I'm not saying fullback's not important, of course it is, but Konza, I think, could do a job there. He's done it at times for Villa. I don't think it's a natural turn, but he can do it. He moves well, so, I mean, that would be in the debate. Or don't forget, the hardest thing as a manager, and I say this a lot in talks that I do, is the hardest thing is to do nothing at all.
Yeah.
When the noise is building,
yeah.
No, it's fair to say that two could go, listen, to Jed Spence, listen, we believe in you, we trust you. We just want you to do this, that, and the other, and just maybe, hold your position a bit longer, or whatever tactical little nuances, and little details, reflect on it, and they might even go again. And that's the bravest thing as a manager, is to do nothing. When everyone's making a huge noise about what you should be doing, the bravest thing often, it's the bravest, doesn't mean it's the right thing, by the way, mathematically, but the bravest thing is to do nothing and stand by your players and what they stand for as individuals and as a team. Not saying he should do that, but I'm just saying that is a brave thing to do. I don't think he will do that, but I'm still giving an example of when I've done it myself and going right and wrong, by the way, with my staff, debating who we should play, and I've stood strong. Nope, the same team's playing. Even when they've been going, no, we've got to change it. And that's a very tough thing to do.
And it's interesting because, like anything in life, but specifically in football management, where it's so intense, is if you get it right, everybody kind of goes, oh, you get it wrong.
You got it. I know, hindsight, the power of hindsight. I've never had a bad game in here. I've been brilliant every game. Got to call that Sean Dyche, he's a tactical genius. Not so much on a Saturday afternoon.
Do you know a name that you've often mentioned in the past as one of the players you played with over the years, but Trips has been mentioned a lot that they didn't take.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was surprised. Well, I must make it clear, not that he's in his prime. He's not, but he's still a very, very good player, and he can handle it. He's shown that. He's got quality. He's shown that. He knows his way around what it is to be out there. Harry Maguire's another one who I would have personally took him.
Yeah.
Another reason for him slightly different. He went through that lull in his career, which can happen, and the crowd brought him and everything. But the last 3 months, he's been excellent. The feel-good factor's there as well for him.
Yeah.
He hasn't played as much football as all the others, as in literal minutes, so he goes there kind of fresh. But look, on the other side, I'm sorry, but when I go on this show, and I want to give my opinion, but sometimes I do sit on the fence because I am a manager, and I've been a manager, and I am one, and I do feel that Tuchel, it sounds really simple, this from the outside, but when you're on the inside of it and you're debating it, you've got staff, you've got analytics, you've got sports scientists, you've got all the data coming in, and eventually you have to make a decision. 26 is a lot, of players. But you can only pick 26.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not as easy as it sounds. But they will, trust me, they will be debating it.
Do you think he'll play him, Sean?
I don't think he'll play Jed Spence in the next game. If he does, though, like I say, I wouldn't think anything other than let's see. I wouldn't be jumping on it straight away.
Yeah.
Let's see how this game goes, because I'm a great believer in that. If he stands strong to his decisions, I trust the fact that he's the international manager, top manager, and I respect it. And I wouldn't be jumping on it after 2 minutes, which some people can do in football. I'd give him a chance and go, right, let's see how the game pans out. But I don't think he will. I think he'll change it.
Right, just 2 quick shout-outs before we go to the break. This is Julian from Surrey, a reference Mexico. Loving the show, guys. Thank you very much, Julian. Spent my wedding honeymoon in Mexico. He's named the place here, but I can't pronounce that. I can do if it was Welsh, it'd be all right, but I can't. Back in 1998, great memories, and a lovely one. This is from Johnny Gard in Pontypridd, Roger Miller in 1990.
Roger Miller, what a good shout with the dance. See, I mentioned this about dances and that. You remember when we were talking about Tardelli and how natural it was? For one, did you see the Cape Verde lad when he scored his second go? Absolutely balmy.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, but loved it. No dance.
Natural.
But Roger Miller was authentic. If you remember, it wasn't like he made it all up.
No.
It was so authentic that it actually worked, that one. So I'm going to let him away with that one.
Roger Miller is allowed to dance by Sean Dyche. And this lad has added in, Johnny God. He's gone, I seen you cut a few of those shapes in the Lava Lounge in Cardiff back in the day, Johnny. There we are.
I love
Must have seen me dancing on the dance floor.
What an old-fashioned nightclub name.
The Lava Lounge.
Lava Lounge.
It's so well. Plenty more World Cup talk coming up, so please stay with us.
quick one on Portugal against Croatia. Portugal won 2-1 in the end. Ronaldo, of course, getting his first knockout goal with a penalty straight down the middle. What did you make of the controversial VAR decision?
Well, I think hair's very overrated, don't you, Gab? Very overrated.
I don't think you need it, mate.
No, exactly, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
but
both of you.
Who would have talked, don't mess with the ball?
So I've got the Mitchell brothers in here.
Well, don't you think, in the, the marginal gains, that in future managers say to all the defenders, whatever, by the way, point. Get your head shaved.
That's a very good point.
It's nonsensical. Honestly, it is so ridiculous that we're talking about a hair follicle and you're talking about Snicko, right? VAR wasn't brought in for that. And when I don't know, you've probably seen it. When you're looking at it, right?
Hard to tell.
The ball doesn't change flight. The spin of the ball doesn't change whatsoever.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I agree with everything you've said. I agree with you. But here's my question: was it offside?
What, according to Snicko?
Well, according to the laws of football, was it offside?
Not really.
No, because we're not 100% sure that it's actually touched. You know what we're going to do now is right.
I know, but it was offside, right? I agree with you, Perry. You won't get an argument from me.
Good. Was it offside?
But because it's touched him.
How do you know it's touched it?
Because the microchip in the ball has told us that.
Right. So that's how mad that this is that we're talking about. Everybody thinks you're talking about cricket, number one.
Yeah.
Right, with the Snicko, right?
Yeah.
That's not. Football is about emotions and losing your mind and celebrations and exalted moments with your friends, your family, aunties, and on the pitch as well. VAR was brought in for Thierry Henry's handball for France against Ireland. That is it. So now they've made themselves so important that we're going to, the minutiae, we're going to go into CSI sort of,
Yeah, I don't like it.
PGMO.
I know, but if we score the winning goal in the World Cup final and it's offside and then Snickometer says, actually, hair follicle, you're onside.
Oh, it's the best thing that's ever been brought forward. No, I'm honest. No, I would say because you have to be.
I agree with you.
You say that's not football.
You're taking football out of football.
And to be fair, we've got no dog in the fight of that game, have we? Mm-hmm. I don't really care who wins, who goes through, whatever.
No.
But football fans are just looking at really going, really? Is that what it's coming down to?
When I met you in the summer, to my heartbeat sound, we fell in love as the leaves turn brown, and we could be together, baby, as long as skies are blue. You act so innocent now, but you lied so soon. When I met you in the summer.
Jonny Owen and Sean Dyche here, World Cup weekender. That's Calvin Harris, Sean. What's the name of the song?
It's Summer.
Summer. It's just called Summer.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
That's a good choice, that as well, isn't it? Very modern choice, fair play.
Oh, no, I like a bit of that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm old, see, I go back like
yeah, no, yeah,
31. I was like, have we got any Beach Boys?
No, I thought about Donna Summer.
Donna Summer.
Oh, I love that. Any occasion, but definitely if you're driving along and the sun's out, you're in a
dance classic, that, isn't it, as well?
Oh, what a tune.
Imagine that. Of course, it's a Saturday of sensational tennis as well, Sean.
It is.
Action at Wimbledon. So let's get the latest from talkSPORT tennis correspondent Lisa. Oh, so she also got a song for us, Lisa O'Sullivan, as well. She's got a barbecue song. Lisa, how are you doing?
One that's going to show my age as well. Yeah, it's an absolute classic day set up here at the All England Club because it's sports day, effectively. The Royal Box absolutely ram-packed with talent, including lionesses like Michelle Agumang, MBE, Ella Toons in there. We've got Sir Gareth Southgate. We've got Marcel Van Basten, because apparently Marco Van Basten's real name is Marcel. Didn't know that one. Phil Foden's in there, as well as Sir Chris Hoy, the fantastic Chris Hoy. We've got Ben Ainsley, Sir Stephen Redgrave. So, yeah, lots and lots of talented stars in the Royal Box. Watching the court that I'm watching at the moment, Alexandra Ayala of the Philippines playing the reigning champion Iga Swiatek right in the early stages. This one game all. This is going to be a good match. We've also seen Alex de Minaur just book his place in the fourth round in the last few minutes. Karen Hashanov's just bageled Flavio Cobolli in the first set in that one, and it's 5-5 between Elise Mertens and Elena Rybakina, the former champion.
Brilliant.
Oh, my song, Summer Breeze by the Isley Brothers.
Fantastic. That is a classic.
Tune.
Have we got that? Yeah? Yes, nods there. Thank you, Lisa. We'll come back to you for more music tips. Thank you. So listen, I mean, I've got some belters there.
Sir Gareth.
Sir Gareth. He says Sir Gareth, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Marco van Basten. We were just talking about the famous goal he scored.
Marcel,
scored the goal against a country that doesn't exist anymore.
I know.
USSR.
Yeah, you called it. Great shout.
Yeah.
I did say you're good at that.
88 Euros final.
World Cup and Euros final. Knowledge, is excellent.
Yes.
What a goal.
What a goal.
What a goal.
And again, this is Jonny Owen. The Jonny Owen, two world-class players, Van Basten and Ruud Gullit.
Yeah, turned up for sure.
Both turned up.
Both proper. Both proper.
That was a great Dutch team, wasn't it?
I remember covering a game. It was one of the FA Cup finals. Ruud Gullit was there, and he actually said, "Can I just say," butted into the interview, and he said, "Can I just say you've done an amazing job at Burnley?"
Did he?
I swear my life. I went, "Well, I never envisaged when I used to watch you as a kid, I'll be standing here at Wembley where you tell me I've done an amazing job at Burnley." and live on air, and he just laughed, and I went, "You're Ruud Gullit." I'm just Sean Dyche, but you're Ruud Gullit.
What a player.
Cool, yeah.
My mate was a massive Chelsea fan, Stu. He said to me he's the best player he ever seen. He's all sense up. He said to Gullit was
powerful,
incredible.
Yeah, when you see him up close,
yeah,
it's different.
And he went further back. He's one of those players that went further back as his career went. So he started off, he was an amazing striker.
He was like a striker number 10.
Centre half, wasn't it? Because I think Hoddle did a touch of that.
But Glenn could play anyway.
Yeah.
You're probably playing goal.
Apparently all about Birtles, as I say. Birtles played centre half for Grimsby, supposed to be sensational.
Yeah,
could play anywhere.
Tougher, competitive Birds.
Yeah. Birds, yeah. Good number 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right, we've got a time to look ahead now to the day with talkSPORT Bet Ambassador Ryan.
The Playbook with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Ryan, how you doing, son?
Very good. How are you both doing? You all right?
Very good indeed. I've got some points here. Talking points. They put keepers and pens, Messi, and then special England offer. So I'll let you go with keepers and pens first.
Absolutely, yeah. Just, some of the talking points at the moment, I wanted to see how it corresponds with the betting with talkSPORT Bet. That's what I've been doing as of late. So, any keeper to be subbed in the second half of extra time, that is something that talkSPORT Bet are offering. Obviously, when they have penalties in mind, the managers, they're thinking about this. And obviously, it's deep-rooted. They must know this is going to happen. It's in training. It's conversations before the game takes place. We're offering that at 5-1 at the moment. But I can't not be on here again with Sean Dyche and say, well, it's a two-parter, really. Do you agree with that? Just point blank, do you agree with that? Do you think that that should be a thing? I know it's slightly different keepers to actually outfield players. And have you ever done that or thought about doing that?
No, it's not. It's a bizarre one, I think, to have a keeper who you consider you could put on to be better at, a penalty situation. I do understand it in one way tactically, but I think it's a bizarre situation. The keeper's going on, what are they thinking? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not capable.
Yeah. It's one of those positions, boys, in football where, it's always a huge decision to drop your keeper, isn't it? So your keeper's kind of that one player where you go, well, I trust you.
What game was it? What was the famous game? Sorry, I can't remember.
Alice Ferguson famously brought in Les Sealy after...
No, yeah, I know that, but what was the one when someone did this, when they brought someone on?
I was recently in Champions League in Spurs.
Yeah, goodness me.
Yeah, it was the guy Ego or somebody.
Yeah.
And
everyone was like, hey?
He took the keeper off, didn't he? Out in Madrid.
Yeah. I think Louis van Gaal's done it once or twice as well with some of his keepers. So, I mean, it is a thing. It is a thing. But, yeah, that's really interesting, Sean, to hear you say that you don't fancy that.
Well, I just think that why did you keep it playing in the first place? Surely they're good enough to do their job, and surely they're good enough. Surely that must include penalties.
Yeah,
you wouldn't do it during the middle of a game, would you?
It's a big decision in the
like special teams. You can bring special teams on. Just have a special game. Well, the way football's going, we've got throwing coaches, like eyelash coaches next. There'll be something. There'll be type coaches. So you never know who knows what comes next.
Eyelash is very topical. The Prime Minister. There you go.
And another topical one here is Lionel Messi. He's second favourite now to be the player of the tournament, second behind Mbappe. He's 11-4, but favourite to be the top goal scorer. He's at 11-10, still keeping up with the best in the world. And obviously, people are saying arguably is still the best in the world. The question is, Jonny, is it a crime that he's playing in a league like the MLS? With all due respect, would you consider that a waste of talent, even though he is the age that he is?
It maybe works for him, Ryan. I tell you why. Because if he's playing top football every week, like playing the Premier League, something like that, I think he's able to look after himself a bit more in the American league. You're able to take it a bit easier and prepare for World Cup. Pele famously did this in 1970 when he played less and less games with Santos. We were talking about it, funnily enough, on Thursday night with people about this, and I think it maybe has helped him in the sense that he's gone somewhere where he hasn't got to play at 100%. Interestingly enough, we were talking about this, me and Sean, the Argentinian team is completely set up to play around him now.
I was going to say, they protect him.
They really protect him.
He's Dick Turpin.
He's just
he's like 6K a game or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unheard of.
I know.
In top level football, that's unheard of to run so low. But as we saw last night, not only his choice of run, which was absolutely fantastic to break the back line, touch and finish, unbelievable. And that's what I said about Ronaldo. They're really waiting for Ronaldo. In similar vein, they'll do the work, you provide the magic.
Yeah.
That's how I get the feeling the Argentinian side are. They're all willing. They all go, look, we know you are a genius. We're going to do the work for you. You keep yourself fresh and you pick your times, which he does magnificently well, of course. Messi, this is. And I think they're sort of looking like that with Portugal, with Ronaldo. They're going, we've got to give him the chance. We're not expecting him to run all over the place. We're expecting him to use his game knowledge and, of course, his ability to win us it when we need to.
Yeah.
Whether you can win the whole thing with that,
yeah.
Because don't forget, if you've got one player running 6.5K, even if they're a genius, that means the other players have got to make up a lot of ground.
Yes.
Carry that, as a team unit.
Yeah.
Because team units are probably about, depends on the level of the game, how quick it is, and that 105 to 120K. If you've got one who's only running 6-ish, that's a loss. That means some others have got to be covered.
Did you see that stat, boys? His sprints all put together in one of the games wouldn't have made the length of the pitch.
Unbelievable.
That's amazing.
So he just thought I'd stand there, could receive the ball.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
He sees the picture so quickly and he operates. His goal against Verdi, I know it's Cape Verde, and everyone's questioning him, but he drops his shoulder. He sees the quarterback position from the deep line midfielder. He turns. As soon as that quarterback's arm goes back, imaginary format, of course, it's leg. As soon as he sees it, Messi, you watch him, dips his left, dips his right, and he sets off.
Yeah.
Comes over his shoulder. Sublime control. And then just pops in and you go, that's what they're waiting for.
Yeah.
And that's what that team in Argentina will do. They'll do the work and go, you just keep being you.
Do the most difficult thing, put the ball in the onion bag. Yeah. All right, special England offer.
That's it, yeah. A welcome offer, actually, for anyone who's not already signed up to talkSPORT Bet. First of all, what you're doing. Second of all, we're offering England to beat Mexico at 30-1. So talkSPORT Bet are giving new customers an opportunity to do that. You have to opt in. You can do that once. It's a minimum £5 deposit and a maximum stake of £1, but you get England at 30-1, and that expires at 1 a.m. on the 6th of July. So, if you haven't done that already, download the app or visit talkSPORT Bet /Azteca and check that offer out. But to finish, lads, Sean, again, I feel like I'm really grilling you here, but I have to do this when I'm on air with you because
you're getting on me or what? You're trying to break me.
It's like, I'm trying to break you. And it's altitude chat, which you might be getting sick of. But as a manager, do you bring that up with the players, or do you kind of just assume that you factor that into their thinking and kind of brush it under the carpet, or do you make it a thing like the media are? No,
Tuchel mentioned it, but I think he was free flowing because I'd try and leave it alone if I was him, in the media, and just make out, don't bring it on. This is part of the game. This is what we've got to take on, because they're already getting so much noise about it. And rightly so, by the way. There's some scientific facts to it, So rightly so in a way. But I think because there's so much power about it, it can get in players' psyches. So you do your best. I mean, it's nearly impossible nowadays. I must make that clear for Tuchel to not mention it or to not have an opinion because you get asked 1,000 times. But you really want to push that away and just clear the players' minds and go, look, the game's not won or lost just purely because of the conditions. Yeah. The game's won or lost on what we do. So I think you're trying to keep the team focused on that. But I will say the modern era is ever more difficult because, like I say, social media, everyone's got a view. We're asking, we're all chatting about it now.
Yeah.
So you can't protect the players from it. But I don't think as the leader you'd mention it. I think you just go, lads, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're planning on doing. And I wouldn't mention it other than you've got to make some strategies, for the cooling and get them in the best shape you can.
Yeah.
But I certainly wouldn't be over-egging it. I'd be trying to focus on what we do as a team and the individuals and the tactics and all that sort of stuff. But it's not easy in the modern generation because there's so much media out there.
So much noise. Brilliant. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks to enjoy that as always, pal.
Thanks for the grilling.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
No problem.
Yeah, that was a look at the latest odds thanks to talkSPORT Bet, 18+, gambleaware.org.
The Playbook with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com to see all our latest sign-up offers. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Wayne Rooney has just said that Thomas Tuchel should have brought Kyle Walker to this World Cup. That experience and the ability to play at right back rather than have to take Declan Rice out of midfield could have been useful.
I think a Kyle Walker and his pomp would drastically improve this team. I really do.
100%.
Stuart Pearce there and Adrian talking about Wayne Rooney's comments. Kyle Walker's in the studio with us. Perfectly timed. What do you make of Wayne Rooney's comments there?
No, I think for Wayne to say that, it's flattering. I think a legend like that to say that about you, it obviously gives you a little bit of a pat on the back. But I still go back to the Trent scenario that, Trent is still out there and available, and I think maybe he should have got the nod.
The comments itself, you've retired from international football. I didn't know this, but you told us in the gallery back in April.
I think it was around about April, March.
You regret that a little bit?
No, I think I do regret it looking in hindsight now that there's a potential place for me in this World Cup.
Did you feel that place had gone now? That just wasn't going to happen again, that your England career had come to an end? Is that...
I look at it now and I think that obviously with Reece and Tino's recent injuries, maybe I could have got the shout. But when I had the conversation eventually with them at England, that was not an opportunity that I was going to get. Obviously not playing the couple of friendlies that they had prior to the tournament. I knew that from that moment on that they was taking that set of lads to the World Cup. So I kind of just rested on it on that.
Did you have a conversation with Thomas Tuchel?
Not until the day I was going to retire. I tried a couple of times and received nothing back. And on the day I was going to retire, he messaged me. Obviously, I'm going to keep that private because out of respect for the conversation that we had. And, I just decided that was the time and I felt it was right.
In a century of World Cups, it's not just the football that's changed. Stadiums have gone from concrete behemoths to technological marvels, and the giant monolithic arenas help to define tournaments. Back in 1930, the world embraced its greatest spectacle for the first time. Uruguay was the host, and in just 90 days, they built a stadium that's still there today. It was a gargantuan effort to pull together the 90,000 capacity Estadio Centenario, one of only 3 venues for that tournament that would act as a monument to 100 years of Uruguayan independence. If that was the World Cup's birthplace, Mexico City's Estadio Azteca became its cathedral. Some of the World Cup's most iconic moments happened on this grass, including this, of course. Also, both Pelé and Maradona lifted the trophy in the Azteca. A bit of pub quiz ammo for you there. You're welcome. In England, there's no more special place to us than Wembley, the scene of our greatest triumph. And yes, it definitely was a goal. Some incredible stadiums across the world have hosted matches, but you don't have to have a modern-day spaceship of a ground to make it memorable. Take 2006, for example, and here. The memories of what happened at Berlin's Olympiastadion show events on the pitch can elevate a stadium in the minds of fans worldwide. But that doesn't stop us from marvelling at modern triumphs of engineering. Let's jump ahead to Qatar and take a look at this, the Lusail Stadium. This gorgeous golden bowl hosted the frankly unbelievable final in 2022. But that's not where it ends in Qatar. Take Stadium 974, for example. This place was built from shipping containers and can be taken down and built somewhere else. Mad. It's crazy to think that we've gone from building giant concrete bowls to what is basically modern art. To be fair, some concrete bowls, like the Maracanã, are art in its most flawless form. The teams and the players are why we all come, but sometimes the stage they perform on ends up being the main character. And with structures like this, it's hardly a surprise.
Just past 2:05 on a beautiful day in England's capital, London. Feverish excitement about their game at Mexico tomorrow in the early hours. This is the World Cup weekend with me, Jonny Owen, alongside, I love these scripts, experienced football manager Sean Dyche.
Thank you.
Coming up, we've been talking about all change at Nottingham Forest, something that Sean knows all about, and a new job for Big Ange. And we'll be joined by some top guests, including the former Republic of Ireland international and Scottish coach Stephen Reid. And we still want to know your favourite World Cup players, and we're going to put together our song mixtape, a driving mixtape. If you're driving to the beach or having a barbecue this weekend, what songs are playing? All that to come on the World Cup Weekender on talkSPORT. There you go. Do you know that? They call that a bed, Sean. A musical bed.
Oh, yeah.
When you talk and they play some sort of generic music.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, it's called a bed.
Yeah, but I don't mind if the generic music is...
It's good.
Yeah.
You put on the thing you...
Elevate music.
I love this. We'll be laughing in the gallery. Put let music bubble. Oh, look all laughing. We let it bubble then, boys. All up. They're all nodding, yes. Bubbling music there. Big shout out to a very dear friend of mine and a good friend of Sean's, Nigel Halbert. What a bit of a scare this weekend or last weekend with his heart. Just going to play some music for him later. You know what he said to me? The typical Merthyr sense of humour. He's had a heart attack, right? He's in hospital. He's got to have operation, bless him. I asked him, what song do you want me to play? He went, one of two. Either Fergal Shark, good heart these days. Or Celine Dion, my heart will go on.
That's genius.
I was like, Nigel, I can't play them. It'd be too cruel. But Gallows humour. So
always wins the day.
Bless him. So Nigel, we're sending you well, love, mate, and you get well soon. I'll see you soon in Merthyr, no doubt about it. So, you know, a bit of the old managerial merry-go-round. I love these cliches. The managerial merry-go-round. Yeah. Let's be all serious. Was enacted again this week, Sean? No. Yeah. And obviously all change at Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, strange one. Not a strange, good manager. Nothing to do with that, you know. But just, I think Pereira. It's, you know, because obviously we're both around Nottingham, well, a lot, apart from me down here working and stuff, doing the media. But the feeling was Pereira. You know, they wanted them, but they're you know, look, it's a strange situation, and the fans wanted us in. I think we statistically did a good job. That changed the feeling. Then they want us out, and then that changes. Then they want Pereira comes in, then they accepted that, and he does a pretty good job and gets the sort of end of the job done.
Yeah.
Then they want change, and no, I don't think they did. It just seems to be ticking over, and then the owners decided to change it again. You can look at it so many different ways, as you know. I'm not bitter about it because I think the world of Nottingham Forest particularly, you know, because my past with them as a kid and all that. So there's no problem there for me to speak openly about it. The way football's going, it is more like this, you know, where owners or directors of football, they change things, they want to change things. The difference with this one is, and I'd be interested in Palace fans' view, because I think they're great fans at Palace, I must say that. And, you know, for Glasgow to go there particularly, you know, there was all the kerfuffle, you know, over the Europa League.
Okay, yeah,
of course, you got a bit of that. But in a way, the history of Nottingham Forest is bigger, but not recent times when you think Palace has been in the Premier League for a number of years. Is it 10, 11, 12 maybe on the trot? Yeah. So I think originally the feeling is, I must make this clear, only the feeling, this is not my exact opinion.
This is all going to go viral.
I know. Clickbait will be all over what I'm going to say now.
They'll be like, I can talk for social media just
sure, not just doing the Palace down. I don't know, and the Forest, there we go, he's making up with minnows. No, I think the feeling was that Glasgow was going to get a bigger club.
Yeah.
You know, maybe in Europe, not just in the Premier League, you know, across Europe, maybe.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, that hasn't quite come across, or not at this moment. Forest is a big club, I must make that clear, and so Palace in their own rights, as I've just suggested, but not the superpower clubs which possibly he thought he was going to get. Now, they've attracted him. I can only imagine he must have got a very big offer, and I can only imagine from putting my manager's hat on, not only that offer, but you'd go, I'm not going to be on the turnaround, I'm not going to be on the revolving door. So therefore, not only a contract, but probably a contract with some big support in it, contractually, as if to say, you know, I'm not coming in and you just get rid of me for whatever reason it might be. I don't know, the fans get disgruntled or you just get rid of me or whatever it might be. Players, in my case, you know, all that kind of thing. It seems to me he's going in there and I would imagine, again, my management hat, he's got that safeguarded on his contract, which there's not doing anyone down. You know, I got on well with the owner, so there's no problem there. which I can get. You know, he's probably going, look, I need some stability to build it.
Yeah.
You know, to get hold of it, grip it, take it my way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one thing I would say, going on to the style, if you look at the Palace performances, and they've done it brilliantly well, let's remind everyone of that. You know, the successes they've had the last 2 seasons. Yeah. And Steve Parish deserves a lot of credit for that, and people at the club as well. But his style that he's done now, be interesting, does he do that at Forest? Because the demand at Forest was, you know, I had a bit of it myself. We're not playing this way. We're not playing that way. The football's this, football's that.
Yeah.
If you look at their successes, it hasn't been...
No, it's attritional.
No, it hasn't been, it hasn't been 600 passes a game.
No.
Do you know what I mean? They've found a way of operating, often in that counter-attack style, which I know Nuno did well, and the Forest fans accepted that.
Yeah.
When I was there, it was different. Prayer went in. They said it was better football, but usually that implies winning, by the way.
Yeah.
We've all been down that road. So that's going to be the biggest thing for me, is what is he going to offer on the pitch? You know, I'm sure he's a good operator, no question. He's done a brilliant job at Palace, no question that either. But what are you literally going to get on the pitch? Not just results, what are you going to be looking at? I think that's going to be really interesting to see what he's going to put out there. Is he going to go the same format that he's used at Palace, which has been mega successful for him relatively to the Premier League and the European
well, they won the FA Cup, didn't they?
Absolutely, yeah, incredible. Or are they going to go a completely different style? You know, and open up and make the pitch big and play what you'd call more, you know, let's call it modern football, or the right way, as people, you know, phrase it nowadays. So that's going to be my biggest interest. But I do believe he's a good operator. It's just another turnaround situation. Football is going that way. Lot more short-term thinking, I think.
It's one of those, Sean, you're absolutely right. We shall see.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And I'm being open-minded about it. You know, I just want the best for Nottingham Forest, as I do for all my ex-clubs.
Yeah, you do. You do. I can attest for that.
You can, yeah.
Elliot Anderson, staying with Forest, he went to Manchester City for a lot of money. I think it's washed out at about 115 million, but then with add-ons and that, it's a great bit of business considering he's only been there.
It's crazy money, but it's not crazy money for any reason that is negative. It's crazy money because that's the way the market is now.
Yeah,
it's not about now. You know, I hear all the pundits talking about it, and some rightly. You know, my opinion is it's not about rights and wrongs of what the money is. It's just the money. It's just the way it is. What it does do, it's going to put a lot of pressure down the pyramid of football.
Yeah,
because what people forget about is so the big clubs. Put these huge fees on players, that definitely knocks down because, and rightly so sometimes. So if I was like back at Burnley, let's say, and I had like I don't know, a random player at the time, Jack Cork or a Westie or someone like that, you would go, well, if he's 116, it's impossible that this player that I've got, or whatever that player may be, is worth, you know, like 10 million when they're worth 116. So do you get what I mean? It puts pressure on the whole system. Then, of course, the Premier clubs look at the Championship, then the Championship players look more of value. So therefore, the first reason they're trying to get a Championship player, they're going, well, you know, and the numbers just keep going up. Everyone wants more and more and more. And it's the big clubs that start, you know, they start the market. And I do think in the bigger picture of football, it puts so much pressure on all the other clubs.
And interestingly as well, if you're Burnley saying, I've got to play that, and Forest come in for him, you know they've got 100 million in the bank, that inflates
absolutely
your thinking, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Spot on, yeah. I mean, I've been through a lesser version of that, but... You know, at Everton, if you get like 50 million for, say, Anana went out to Villa, like 50-ish million, then, of course, you try and get something. They go, well, we want 40. And you go, well, how do you want 40?
Yeah.
You know, and this is any random player. You get a player from, you know, I don't know, Strasbourg or someone, and they go, we want 40 million. You go, where did you bring that number up from?
Yeah.
They go, well, you've just got 50-odd million for that player.
Yeah.
And it just knocks on.
Yeah.
So I'm going off piste a little bit. Good player, by the way. Let's not forget that. We know that. I can imagine him going in the role of like a Rodri role, not now because Rodri's a top player, but, you know, bringing that player through in the future. So I think that would what they'll do tactically with him. But yeah, I just think it puts tremendous pressure on the whole of the market system. Yeah, on the whole market. And then the newcomers to the Premier League must be going, oh, goodness me. Because they might be trying to nick something out of a lesser club than Man City or Forest. And guess what? They've now inflated it.
Yeah.
Because they know they've just picked up a load of money because they've just got promoted.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know, it just knocks on all the way through the system. It's very, very difficult for the
very
small
interesting.
clubs.
And just before we go to the break, Sean, Big Ange, who I know you know quite well, is off to Al Nazir. Is that how you say it?
I think so, yeah. I mean, you know, yet again, they're still trying to build their side of the world, aren't they? You know, and what they're doing with their leagues and stuff like that. And they need some big figures to come in. It's amazing, you know, I love things like, you know, Big Ange, he's not that big, you know.
He's not.
I love that, you know, I always love that, Big Ange. And you go, where's that come from? You know what I mean? Good, really good fella, by the way.
Yeah.
Really, I was doing a talk at UEFA and he'd done something the day before for UEFA as well. And we had dinner together and had a real good laugh. He's a real top fella, real straight for speaking.
And what about someone like Saudi, Sean? Is that ever an interest for you?
Yeah, I think, well, I'd be a novelty figure over there, wouldn't I? Look at me. Imagine that alone. We go, who is this guy? Is he made that voice up? So, yeah, I think I'd go down well over there. There'd be T-shirts. I'd make more money out of T-shirts and cups and that. You know, like, who is this ginger monster?
Good.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
So listen, coming up next, we're talking about some of the games we're looking forward to in the next World Cup round.
Harry Kane, I'm going to give him a 6.
What?
Fantastic second goal, but his overall performance, for me, not good enough.
He scored 2 goals.
I don't care, mate. I don't care.
I don't see what more you want from a striker.
I played the position, mate. As a striker...
You've scored 2 goals in a World Cup knockout game?
What you want more as a striker is you need to be involved in the game. How many times were we saying last night, watching a game, get in the box, get in the box.
Let me ask you this now. When we play Mexico, right, if you had the option to take exactly the same Harry Kane performance with 2 goals or not and start from the beginning, what are you taking?
Yeah, of course you're taking the goals, but when you play better teams, you're not going to maybe score them chances. No offence to Congo.
But he did.
But yeah, no. Of course he did. But is he going to do that against the top defences? He's not.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Okay, then. Here's one for you then.
Yeah.
Say if we get to the semi-finals, okay, and we're playing Argentina, the final against France.
Yeah.
And he's not getting those chances. Do you still, no problem with him playing centre field?
You're marking him on the performance that he did get them.
I'm asking you a question. You're talking about different games. I'm asking you a question. Against Argentina, say we get to the semi-finals, the final against France, do you want Harry Kane being more involved in the game? Do you want him holding the ball up?
If he scores 2 again, no.
What if he doesn't score 2?
Well then, yeah, but he did. Okay, yeah. But he did. But you're marking him on a performance where he did score 2.
Exactly, but the whole performance isn't just about, you scored a great goal. What was your performance like for the whole game? Simple.
Okay. If you had that game,
yes,
and scored those 2 goals, would you feel a little bit down about your performance?
I would do, yeah. I'd be like, could I have done a lot more? Could I have done more for my team?
If you score 2 goals and the second one's like that as the win, I don't think you can feel down.
That's my opinion, mate.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
That's all right.
I'm just being honest.
What can I be when I'm with you? I want to stay there. If I'm true, I'll never leave, and if I do, I know the way there. Ooh, and I suddenly see you. Ooh.
Jonny Owen and Sean Dyche playing you some of the great summer songs. And it's, of course, the Beatles' Got to Get You Into My Life, off one of the greatest albums ever, Revolver. Fantastic album. A great song to play on a sunny day. Tune. Absolute tune.
What about the Kings? What was that one? That'd be...
Sunny Afternoon.
Oh, what a tune.
Maybe we should play that as well.
Oh, yeah, we should get
Blazing on.
What a tune.
It is. We're just talking about some World Cup games we're looking forward to. There's so many games coming thick and fast now. And there's a word. Just had a bit of fun. Sean was like, what's that? The World Cup knockout bracket.
Yeah.
The word bracket has come into focus. These new words. Low block. A lot of people talking about the low block, aren't they?
Yeah.
I remember the low block for sort of like last two. Yeah, defending deep, yeah. Dino went on that great rant, didn't he, where he sort of Dean Saunders. It's brilliant. When he talks about,
it's good.
He talks about he's like top bins, top left-hand corner.
The bus, didn't they?
Park in the bus.
Now, of course, it's a low block.
Low block.
The trendy way of describing the same thing.
Yeah, the knockout bracket. So yeah, it's just this thing where we're just talking about where you can look at sides of the draws and where people are and are you on the right. Listen, there's a lot to be. People will go. I've heard people go England on a slightly easier. Still Brazil and Argentina there. There's no easy in the World Cup.
No way not easy.
No,
we got a chance with a shout. You know what I mean?
They got a world class player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's on form?
Yeah, it's tough, but I mean, they're still in the shout. All of them are really. I mean,
yeah. It'll be interesting. And, if you're England, a fan, you are really hoping that, say, like, Canada can beat Morocco. It's unlikely. But Paraguay did sort of get the penalties.
Yeah, the real underdogs in these rounds, or this round, sorry, Paraguay, I think, Canada, the States against Belgium, although they're doing great.
Yeah.
I like Pochettino, I've got a lot of time for him as well.
Yeah.
That's got the game of the tie in it. Game of the round, sorry, Portugal, Spain, I think. That's the one of the round.
I agree.
Norway could do it, but you've got to say Brazil are favourites. Obviously, we've spoken a lot about England. We want that one to go our way. I can't see Egypt taking on Argentina and beating them. You never know.
No, they've done great, Egypt, to get that far, haven't they?
So many of these clubs have. Switzerland, Colombia, have done brilliant.
Yeah.
Egypt done brilliant. Canada have done brilliant.
Yeah.
Still got to win no matter who's in front of you.
Yeah.
But no, the game of the round is definitely Portugal, Spain. Apart from obviously England, Mexico, but we'll get that one. Well, I'll take it as a given. You won't, but I will.
I got a little interesting thing to tell you about. This is the most tenuous Welsh connection ever, but it is true apparently. But I don't know if you know this, but Morocco famously, Ocean went there. You know the guy who was assistant Ocean Roberts too.
Yeah, I do.
And he went there as a technical director to Morocco for a few years.
Oh, did he?
And he was a big player. And they also took the Welsh FA chief executive Neil Ward. He went to Morocco.
Well, they should take a bit of credit because the way they've moved on, as a nation. In
absolutely.
And I don't know how many years, but I can't remember the start.
The last sort of decade or so.
Yeah,
I think they kind of. Obviously Roberts is at Serie A. He's at Como at the moment. He's a nice part of the world, Como.
Yeah, yes. I went over there to see Cess.
Did you?
Brilliant. He was what a good operator, by the way.
Yeah.
I went over with the FA. Little group of us. Yeah, it was really good, and he was terrific. Really good company, but really good operator. I know it sounds mad, right? But next players as good as him, they get into management. You wonder, you think, are you really at it?
Yeah.
Cool. Working super hard, doing a brilliant job. I was really impressed.
Will he come back to the Premier League, do you think?
As well.
Do you think he'd come back to the Premier
League? We might do, mightn't he? He's cutting his teeth there, isn't he? And he's earning his spurs, learning as he goes. He made that very clear. I was there sort of chaperoning some younger coaches, really, on behalf of the FA, and I really enjoyed it. But he was terrific. He really was. I know we're going off piece, sorry.
No, it's good because somebody just messaged, this is great, lads. It's like being in the pub with me mates.
That's exactly what we do with this show. I love it when people, I get it in the street, but guys, just like sitting in the pub with you chatting. That's exactly what we go
wandering off. Because we were talking about Italy, and there's a big inquest in Italy, obviously, at the moment, because they haven't qualified for 3 World Cups, which is massive.
That is
for our generation, Sean. They used to win World Cups, didn't they? And a lot of the people that sort of theorising in Italy that the way they played football, where they really were the masters defence and you'd say the dark arts with VAR in the modern game, you can't kind of get away with that so much.
Yeah, that's a great point. Maybe that's affected. Yeah, that's a brilliant point.
The little tugs. I mean, that famous thing where I thought
the technical fouling. Man City, the highest technical fouling team in the Premier League year after year, virtually.
That's
year after year.
Yeah,
super clever at it. And I think the Italian side as well, mainly when we were young, especially.
Yeah,
really, really about that kind of period, wasn't it? Dark arts, as you called it. Some top players as well, mind you.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, when you look at that, you think Italy not making the World Cup again.
It's a fascinating thing. And I was talking on Thursday to Frank Clark. Obviously, I know they played like
Frank Clark.
Yeah, with the European champions. And he talked about John Roberts. He said to me, he said he couldn't tackle his granny, right? But his position and getting in the way when the other team broke was unbelievable. Of just putting a body there, which is like it's a tactical awareness, it's a skill, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a skill set. Yeah, it's cleverness. It's game cleverness.
Yeah,
that's different. It's game management. It's not cheating. It's game management.
That's right.
You're working within the rules, but using the rules to your advantage.
Because I always think, the game which I always call them a time cost. I always say this about penalties. But when England in that Euros final against Italy, now when I think Cellini pulls Saka back, he'd have gone.
Yeah.
Now he'd be sacked, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
and that's how much the game has changed just in the last few years.
The thing is, it's breaking momentum. So the reason why the urgency to give a foul away is to break momentum.
Yeah.
You break the opposition's momentum, and the more time you break momentum, the less fluid they can be.
Right.
And I think that's often how the superpower teams use it to break the opposition's momentum, because they're clever.
Yeah.
They're very bright, some of these players. Football bright, game savvy. Yeah, they can smell
positioning as well, like you said.
And breaking momentum's a big thing in football. The obvious one is to go down injured. Nowadays they'll have an not an advertising break, a rehydration break, of course.
Somebody just went, Sean, can you ask, any thoughts of having an oxygen hydration break allowed?
What a bad shout, actually. Who knows? They'll have a psychology break in the future. We have to go over and get some counselling. Who knows what comes next?
I don't won't find out nonsense.
UWN. I'm going to have to start paraphrasing that or whatever you call it.
Well, I'm fascinated by this because this is where fans love this insight you give of those things we wouldn't see, but you do. The positioning of a team to break up the momentum if you transition, they call it, we call it. Get them turned, and they will do what you needed to break that momentum. That's fascinating.
Yeah, because that's the strategy of football. It's not just the tactical understanding, it's the strategy. What's our strategy? Are you playing against what you're playing, what you're going to do to break them? Not just what you can do, but what you can do to break up the rhythm. And you've got to be, when you're planning, because obviously working at clubs like Burnley was the obvious one because we were often the underdogs and the smaller club and all that. If you go into every game, this is what I always say to a lot of coaches who ring me now. Okay, just be careful. We spoke about it before, so I won't bore everyone. But this idea we're going to play the right way. Be careful with that. It's not that easy to play the right way and win all the time, especially when you look at your players. And you look at your players and go, they're not good enough. And it's unfair on the player, don't forget. To ask them to do something that they're not quite capable of is actually unfair on them.
Yeah.
Which is why I never tried to put my players in awkward positions, as in not positions on the pitch, as in, but I want you to do this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other. And they're thinking, deep down they're going, I'm not sure I'm capable of that. That's not really my job. It's not what I do. And some managers, it's our favourite round pegs in square holes and all that. It just doesn't work. Well, rarely it works. So I always try and say to, up and coming managers or coaches, say, just be careful with, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. Watch it unfold first. Work with the players. Get to know your players properly. And then decide the best format. Because at the end of the day, it's the best format you've got to try and win.
Yeah.
Just go, we're going to play the right way. What about the bit when you got to win?
Yeah.
So that's what I've marvelled at in this World Cup, going back to the World Cup, is some of these smaller nations doing all the hard yards, but doing it really, really well.
They have, haven't they?
Yeah, done it fantastically well.
Yeah.
And that's good coaching, good management, and good discipline from the players, and good teamship. Good old-fashioned teamship, who'd have thought it, but that's carried some of these nations into the World Cup and during the World Cup. So I think that's an insight for me, even. I'm looking, going, Cape Verde, what are they doing there? Doing what they're doing. Yeah. And they're they haven't been blown away, just from doing all the hard yards, all the...
Paraguay will be interesting tonight, France, because they'll park the bus, as we used to say.
Yeah.
They depend a little bit. Listen, there's a big cricket T20 at Old Trafford, Sean, this afternoon, and with the preview here is talkSPORT's Sam Allard.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. India-England matches are always special, but this one today is extra special because today is the day where Vaibhav Suryavanshi becomes the youngest cricketer to represent the India men's team at 15 years and 99 days old. He beat Sachin Tendulkar's previous record by more than a year. Suryavanshi making his international debut at 15 years of age. It took him remarkably 3 innings to score his first IPL century last year as a 14-year-old. This year, he broke the record held by Chris Gayle for the most sixes in an IPL. He's already scored 4 professional T20 hundreds. The big question after this year's IPL was going to be, how long is it going to take until India throw him into the national team? Well, it comes today at Old Trafford against England in the second T20 international, and the exciting news is we do not have to wait long to see him bat. India win the toss and are going to bat. England make 2 changes. Jofra Archer comes back into the team. He's going to take the first over, so it could be Archer v Suryavanshi very shortly. And Josh Tongue is going to make his T20 international debut for England today. Mahmood and Wood come out. So the first game between these two sides was postponed because of bad weather up in Durham a couple of days ago. We are about to get underway. India win the toss and decide to bat. Vaibhav Suryavanshi, the 15-year-old, makes his India international debut.
That's fantastic. Hey, Sam, people in that crowd today, they could be witnessing history and talking about this in 20, 30 years' time.
Yeah, this guy is an absolute freak. Like, this isn't just a 15-year-old kid who, has got potential, has got ability. Let's throw him in there and see him get better. This guy in the Indian Premier League, the big franchise T20 tournament in India, has been the best batter in that competition over the last 2 years. He came out of nowhere and burst onto the scene last year as a 14-year-old, and this year, a couple of months ago, as a 15-year-old. He just looked better than any other batter. And again, he broke a long-standing record. Chris Gale, for many, many years, had scored the most sixes in one IPL season. Suryavanshi, as a 15-year-old, breaks that. This guy is an absolute freak. And yeah, again, 15 years of age, international debut for India. We know how important, how special cricket is for India. So yeah, Jofra Archer is going to take the first ball. It's going to be Abhishek on strike. Also, what's quite nice is that Archer and Suryavanshi play for the same franchise in the IPL. Here's one for you. Suryavanshi's first ball, it's either going to be a six or it's either going to be a wicket. He has the tendency, first ball of any innings, to want to try and take down the bowler he's facing and go for a six. So my guess is he's going to go pretty hard pretty early. But yeah, this is going to be, this could be fun, guys. This could be fun.
Oh, thank you very much, Sam. That's brilliant. Our mate Dyche Jonny will be very happy with that, won't he?
Yeah. He'll be 15.
Yeah, that is fantastic. That's fantastic. Coming up next, we'll be joined by a very inspirational person in grassroots football. Josh Cairns coming in. This is the World Cup weekend. Jonny Owen and Sean Dyche on talkSPORT.
Tuchel won the Champions League with Chelsea on the back of not playing particularly attractive football, finding their way through games. So I don't think he really cares how England play as long as they win. And that's his mindset. And he will take the positive out of it. We won. We kept on going towards the end. Well, so you should. And with due respect to the Congolese, their game fell away as the game went on and they became stretched and tired. And for whatever reason, England were able to get themselves back in the game because of the excellence of Harry Kane. Poor goalkeeper on the first goal, which got us back in the game. Brilliant second goal. But you look at it, you go, Declan Rice is like a machine hitting dead balls in there. Look at the first 3 or 4 corners that he hit in. Bang, first man, bang, first man, bang, first man. All of a sudden he starts changing his corners to balloons across the box because he seems to have his confidence gone. You look at Rice and you look at Saka when they come on, they look knackered. They look like players that have been in a long season and haven't got it. And ironically for England, Declan looked better at right back than what we've got, and that might be a conundrum for Thomas Tuchel that he changes that. But I look across the field, Rashford no end products, Madueke no end products. You know, you look defensively, the goalkeeper doesn't worry me so much because goalkeepers make mistakes. That's what happens in games every now and again, and sometimes Pickford makes wonderful saves. But I look at it and say, that is not a team, in my mind, that has any chance of winning this World Cup when it comes up against serious opposition.
What makes this remarkable is how differently you two see it.
Well, I think if you're English, you're going to see it with emotion as well. And I don't have any emotion in this. Like the only person on the whole team that I played with and know is Harry Kane. I want him to do well, and he is doing well, and he's scoring loads of goals. But I don't want him to do well so much.
But Simon's assessment, it's not just emotional, Brad.
No, it's
kind of on the money, isn't it?
Well, his assessment is his assessment. It's his opinion, and he's right about a lot of
Do you not think there feels
things.
an awful lot more wrong than right about this England side?
No, see, that's where we're going to differ. I don't think. I think defensively, and especially the right back, I think they're having a hard time.
used to ring and I go, shh. And when I answer, everyone starts screaming psycho. About 20 people in the office all start screaming.
All right, Sean.
Can I quickly just say, he called my bluff once. He was at a talk doing it. He rang me and got the whole crowd to start singing Psycho when I answered the phone.
Did he?
There's like 700 people singing Psycho.
Good revenge.
Good payback.
Okay, here's a really good feel-good story here for you, which is super important in football, and it shows what a powerful thing football can be. We've got a terrific guy in the studio with us now, Josh Khan. Josh, welcome to the show. He's the founder and manager of Active Sports FC. It's a brilliant, I'm going to ask him all about it now, it's a brilliant South London club that have flown through the leagues, and they're part of a new documentary from Emmy and BAFTA winning producers. And players have come through that system and progressed to Fulham, Southampton, Bristol City, Hull City, Wigan, so many, highlighting the role grassroots football plays in producing the next generation of talent. And South London is so prolific now for producing talent. We know some of the best players in the world come from South London. There's a community screening at Theatre Peckham on the 6th of July, 2 days' time. All in the Game is called, and it explores how football can provide belonging, discipline and hope for young men facing mental health challenges, bereavement and knife crime. And I'm just going to sort of talk to Josh about what it's been like, mate. What a journey. Tell us a little bit how you got started first.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here today sitting with you guys.
Very welcome, mate.
Very welcome. For you.
Yeah, so I started the club initially in 2020. Funnily enough, at the start, it wasn't meant to be much more than just a group of friends from school playing football. And that was kind of the motivation behind it in the beginning. But yeah, it didn't take long for things to pick up and for it to become quite special. And in a short amount of time, we've achieved quite a lot. So, for example, on the pitch, under my leadership, the team's achieved 5 promotions in 6 years, coming up the leagues. The first 4, of which were back-to-back, which was quite impressive. We've won league titles, league cups, a few other smaller trophies, travelled internationally to play in tournaments abroad and had some fun in other countries too. And yeah, as you kind of mentioned, Jonny, we've tried to push as many of our young talented players as we can onto both semi-professional and professional clubs too. Most notably, again, as you mentioned, the documentary that we were subject to, which was an amazing experience to be a part of. Yeah,
I think it's incredible just to join in, because a lot of our listeners will obviously play sport, well, football.
Yeah,
and they'll play whether it's the grassroots, Sunday league. As they've grown up, it's difficult to get promoted. At any level.
It is.
You get so many the tries. Well, not just on the trot, but so many in a short space of time. It's difficult. No matter what level of football you're at, it's difficult to get promoted. Any level of football. So that's amazing. And to bring it all together as you have done.
Yeah.
All these, wonderful characters, I'm sure, who are blending into these teams to go and be successful. Brilliant story.
No, it is. Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of trials and tribulations in the lower leagues of the game that you probably don't experience at the higher levels. For example, pitches. I mean, you say it's hard to be promoted. What about when you're
playing a few bobblers? People used to say when it was flat that I looked like I was playing on a bobbler pitch. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, playing on a great pitch is very different to playing on mud instead of grass, or sometimes even sand instead of mud, you could say, especially when we first started out. So, no, definitely a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of sacrifice had to make over the years. But it seems to be, working its magic now. So
tell us, how did it start? Where did you have the idea from, Josh? We was just sort of sat around and thought, I'm just going to start a football team.
Yeah, I think, as I said, a couple of friends and myself from school, we wanted to start our own team. And also for me, I studied sports business and coaching at university, and part of my dissertation was about some of the struggles that ethnic minorities face in making it to the higher levels of the game. And where I wanted to be a coach, again, part of the thinking was, if I may struggle trying to go through a traditional route, why not start something up myself and try and maybe make it to the top with something that I've created, so I don't maybe face some of those barriers. So yeah, there was a few different kind of motivations and reasons behind it, but it was predominantly the fact that we were all pretty good at football and we'd fallen out of love of the game a bit. We all played decent levels in our early teenage years, and it was just about trying to start something up and see where it could go, really. Yeah.
Tell us about the documentary. Then. How did that come around?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
We should play that later, actually.
Yeah, so it came about through our club's financial investor, Danny Curran. He has a passion for films, and I think he came down to our club and was, over the past few years, watching us on a match day and saw kind of how everything was pretty much a story worth telling, whether it was from, I mean, you'd know, Sean, from the changing room banter and the camaraderie in the team and how entertaining it can be. And we've got a lot of characters at our club, so there was that kind of funny side to it, as well as the more serious side, and how, you know, we were actually doing pretty well on the pitch as well. Combated with, you know, the things we were helping young players with, aside from that, off the pitch, with, you know, some of their mental health issues. And, you know, we spoke about trying to help tackle knife crime.
You know, I was going to say,
like
I think, I don't know these levels, I don't know the people involved, the players, but I can only imagine that what people forget about sport, not just professional sport, about sport, and I'm not lecturing anyone or our listeners, but it's not just the game, it's not just the winning. It's the camaraderie, the belief in each other, the way you rub off on each other, the way you can share. You know, you can share a problem with someone who's just your teammate.
Exactly.
It sounds dead simple, but it is that simple sometimes to help someone. You know, it's dead simple in a team environment. You know, you can share the most serious thing and find humour in it, and find camaraderie and find banter, which leads into actual help.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like you say, mental help, and it's in its sort of most innocent form in a way. You know, just a group of players playing football, loving it, and getting on together.
Yeah.
And it means so much more than just the fact whether you win and you're successful. And I think sometimes people forget that especially about team sports. You know, it's individual sports a lot more tough in many ways, but team sports, it's just that connectivity with others. And some youngsters have trouble with that, you know, but equally it can align them. You know, when they've got something which is their go-to thing to play in a side, and they get really serious about it, it gives them a focus, you know what I mean? And people forget that about sport. And I think it's brilliant, not just the winning successful, but the fact you're bringing these youngsters together, not always youngsters, I'm sure, but, you know, bringing a lot of youngsters together, refocusing them and giving them something which is really important to them. And I think that's a massive value in sport, and sometimes an underrated value in sport.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. I think what the documentary All in the Game portrays beautifully is that, in the sense where you don't necessarily need to be playing in the Premier League or playing at the World Cup for football to have a positive impact on your life and for it to help you. You know, again, as you said, it's not just young players, it's certain older players as well who are also going through troubled times. And that, you know, being a part of a healthy team environment, it really does help with
big
that.
release.
Oh, it's massive.
Yeah, just get out there training and, you know, looking forward to it, and the buzz of playing is a massive relief for some people.
What those lads won't know yet, but they will find out, is like, I'm on a WhatsApp group with a pub team I played for in Merthyr, and we're all still mates, and we all remember games and things. So at any level, you've got, like, as Sean's absolutely right, the camaraderie, but it just changes at a different level. Like, you're on Millwall groups, aren't you, Sean, and things like that when you played there.
Even non-professionally, when I was a kid, I played for Eyes Lodge.
Yeah.
And that's a massive club now, massive, you know, grassroots football club. And I still speak to the lads. Well, some of them are still my best mates. But I mean, speak to them, bump into them. We speak as if we met yesterday. You know?
Well, you make friends for life, don't you? You make friends for life. And it forges memories for life as well, don't you?
I think that's a really powerful thing, and it's such an underestimated thing, I think.
It's massive.
Brilliant what you're doing.
It's as important as the promotions are fantastic.
Yeah,
but just the team, just if somewhere people can go together, Josh, I think that's hugely important.
They've got that each other in line sometimes. You know, you sort of self-police. All them little things about life.
Yeah.
And they're important. You know, I'm 55 now. I'm a bit, you know, I look at the world differently maybe, but, you know, all these things that you didn't even know you're learning them. You're like subliminally learning them. Bit of respect, you know, things like team respect, you know what I mean? But it just builds a different feeling.
It does.
I think it's a brilliant thing. I really do.
I do. Yeah. I mean, what's the future hold? I mean, the sky's your limit, isn't it? You're just obviously going to keep going and see where you end up, I suppose.
Yeah, I think for our first team, which is our main focus at the moment, the aim is very much to keep trying to climb up the football pyramid. I mean, we've come from the bottom levels of grassroots football, and now we're effectively 1 or 2 successful years away from becoming a semi-professional football club, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Fantastic.
But more than that, we are currently looking for more sponsorship and investment to then widen or broaden our horizons.
Can you draw anything down from governing bodies or anything to help with this?
Yeah, well, we're trying, but the FA, they're not.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not just.
Hey, but listen, boys, before we go to break, we're on a commercial channel here, so you know what? Yes. If anybody out there's listening, Active Sports FC, get in touch.
Great show.
What a great story, what a great team, and what a great bunch of lads they are who are trying to create something. So if anybody's out there listening, Josh, time to get in touch, innit? How can they get in touch? Just email you, is it?
Yeah, just check out our website, activesportsfc.com.
Brilliant.
We're on all social media platforms at Active Sports FC, and yeah, please feel free to reach out, and yeah, we can look to assist in which way we can.
There we go, mate. Listen, you've been in League One before you know it. Stay with us.
I speak for Newcastle fans, for Villa fans, for a lot of fans whose clubs can't spend money right. Spurs have finished 17th 2 seasons in a row, right? And then teams like Aston Villa, who have just won the Europa League, are getting fined £19 million and can't spend any money. It's a joke.
They're obviously spending.
I don't care.
Blimey.
It's a joke. Your team as well, Manchester United. Spend whenever you want. The rules are a joke. Just what's the point, mate? What's the point? The rules are terrible, though, Andy. Come on, mate. Be real now. It's that bias, mate. It's that so-called top 6 bias. Clubs like Aston Villa and Newcastle can't buy anyone. But Spurs finished 17th 2 seasons in a row and then go and spend. What's next? Who's going to go and get next?
Just mad. Listen, I don't think he quite understands what FFP stands for because he's used Man United as an example. One of the biggest clubs in the world.
No, but I think he has got a point.
Yeah,
I think he has got a point about the fact that, and I feel for Newcastle and Villa fans because they've got one hand tied behind their back.
Yeah,
and they can't spend the money they've got, and now he's right. Villa are getting fined.
What did they get fined? 90 mil.
It was a lot.
Yeah. But it's one of them where. But the only way that obviously the club can grow is they have to get in the Champions League every single season. Now, with Newcastle and Eddie Howe, I feel for him because what's he supposed to do? You look at the recruitment they've had over the last few seasons where he's bought players for less and sold them for a profit. And then all these best players, Tonali's now going to leave. Bruno Guimaraes is now
Elliot Anderson's the one.
Yeah, but I think back then they didn't quite know that he was going to
but they had to sell him.
Yeah, because of the financial fair play.
Right, they had to sell him. Not they wanted to.
Isaac, gone.
And you know they haven't even got a sell-on clause as well.
I feel, Eddie Howe, the job he's done at Newcastle, I think has been phenomenal. But what is he supposed to do from now? What is he supposed to do? You lose Isaac, you get Voltmada.
I don't know.
There's levels.
I don't know, mate. But Spurs feel as though they might be a bit of a problem next season because they're spending money and they're packing out the midfield, Cole.
No, it's good. I think I said recently on the show that if Tottenham boosted that, that spine, I think there'll be something to definitely watch next season. I think it's obviously good for my old club to be going in this direction and hopefully they can, start creeping up the table now.
Kicks off from 4 p.m. live from New York City, followed by live commentary of Brazil versus Norway from 9. Then here the build up to the big one, England versus Mexico, with full commentary of every heart-pumping moment. Kick off 1 a.m. It's a massive World Cup Super Sunday on talkSPORT.
Good afternoon, Jonny Owen here with Sean Dyche on talkSPORT, the world's biggest and best sports radio station. Now, there's a big cricket T20 at Old Trafford this afternoon, and a new superstar is arriving on the world scene. And here with the latest is talkSPORT's Sam Ellard.
Yes, Vaibhav Suryavanshi today becoming the youngest cricketer to represent the India men's team at 15 years and 99 days old. He beat Sachin Tendulkar's previous record by more than a year. India batting first, so Suryavanshi out there off for a really good start. The 50s just come up after 4.3 overs. It took Vaibhav Suryavanshi 4 balls to hit his first 6 in international cricket, dropping to one knee and scooping Jofra Archer high over long leg and into the crowd for a maximum. He's also hit a second maximum, picking a slower ball from Josh Tong. The ball was in the slot, smashing that over deep mid-wicket. Suryavanshi 14 from 8. It's Abhishek Sharma though at the other end who's doing most of the damage. He's 30 off 19. He's hit 5 fours and a 6 and has got the innings off to a really, really quick start. Jofra Archer and Josh Tong taking the new ball for England. Josh Tong on debut, but looks a good wicket, and both these batters are going hard. Abhishek's got 30, Suryavanchi's got 14. Into the 5th, India 50 without loss.
Wow, Sam, is he still there? Has he gone? Oh, I just want to ask him about this kid. Oh, yeah, he's back. Can you tell us a little bit more about him then? I mean, what's his background and where's he from? Which part of India? Well,
and just as you come back to me, Vaibhav Suryavanchi's international debut has just come to an end. He only
There's a clip that'll be played forever.
I mean, Will Jacks with the wicket, but it's Jonny Owen with the assist, and we'll take it. Do you know what? It feels harsh to criticise but by his high standards records that he set in the IPL. Even though hitting 260 and 10 balls, he probably didn't look as fluent as he normally does do when he's at the crease. It kind of took him, 4 balls to hit a maximum, and he kind of, swung and missed a couple of balls and didn't get any contact on it. Will Jacks, the off spinner, comes into the attack, and Vaibhav Suryavanshi comes down the track and tries to smash him over his head. And to be fair to Will Jacks, he gets a little bit of turn to go away from the left-handed bat. He misses the ball, and it's Josh Buttler who takes the catch behind the stumps and whip the bells off. So look, lots more runs to be scored for Vaibhav Suryavanshi international cricket, but it's not going to be today. On international debut, he makes 14 runs. India 50 for 1.
Thank you, Sam. That's brilliant. And now we're across to, it's like a proper sports show, this show, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And now we're into the afternoon session at Wimbledon. So let's get the latest from talkSPORT's tennis correspondent, Lisa O'Sullivan.
Oh, we're really at the business end of this first set on centre court, where both players are so engrossed that they forgot they needed to change ends. So it's Alexandra Ayala of the Philippines against Iga Swiatek, and it's an absolute cracker. 6 all now in the tiebreak. Over on court 18, we've got Britain's remaining player in action, Arthur Ferry, who is taking on Zizou Bergs, named after the great Zinedine Zidane. Ferry battling to stay in this first set. 5-1 he's serving at the moment, but it is Bergs who has the break point. That's been saved. But we've just had another nosebleed for the Brit. He's had a nosebleed in every match so far at Wimbledon. He had one at Queen's, so a kind of nosebleed interrupted play for a little while there. Later on, we potentially will see the Williams sisters take to court for their first doubles appearance at Wimbledon in a decade.
Thank you, Lisa. OK, now it's time to look at tonight's games with Village Hotels.
talkSPORT's big match build-up with Village Hotels. Watch the big games live in the pub and grill at your local Village Hotel. Find your nearest at villagehotels.com.
Yeah, you can watch the games live in the pub and grill at your local Village Hotel. Find your nearest at villagehotels.com. Plus, for a chance to win a Village Hotel VIP experience for the World Cup final at a Village Hotel near you, head to talksport.com/win. So listen, I mean, what time is this? So we got France now. France, Paraguay. Are they the favourites?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's one of them with the way they've turned up so far. You've got to think they're favourites.
Yeah, I know. I mean, is it because the attacking thing is so good, Sean?
Yeah, I think the power of the well, it's not just that actually. They've got so many different ways they can hurt you. The obvious one being Mbappe's turned up, that's for sure.
Yeah,
the power, the pace, but I think they've got to. For the first time, well, not the first time, but you often seem to get noises coming out of the French camp on different tournaments. There was the famous one, of course, many years ago when there was real trouble in the camp, but there's none of that. It just seems it's a completely bonded unit, and they're at it, they've turned up, and they're going hard at it, to see where it can take them. And I mean, look, there's no guarantees, but, they are favourites, I think. But not only before the tournament were they, but they have actually shown why they're favourites in the game so far. So far, it can change quickly, football.
Brilliant. OK, so here at talkSPORT, we are supporting the Disasters Emergency Committee's Venezuela earthquake appeal. Please text talkSPORT to 70150 to donate £10, with a whole £10 going to the appeal. Millions of people across the region are in urgent need of food, shelter and medical care. Please donate if you are able to. Coming up next, we'll be joined by the former Republic of Ireland, here we are, Sean, and former player Stephen Reid. This is the World Cup Weekender on talkSPORT.
talkSPORT's big match build-up with Village Hotels. Watch the big games live in the pub and grill at your local Village Hotel. Find your nearest at villagehotels.com.
absolute shambles. It was so bad. You're watching going, oh, no. It's almost like they'd been out last night. That's what it felt like. Jay, was so bad, mate.
Mate,
we got out of jail
There's
tonight.
so much to talk about, and obviously we're going to take calls, but I have to talk about the fact that we don't look like we've got any players in the team, apart of, like, obviously Kane, right? He'll win you a game, and Bellingham. But, like, you can't have two players win the World Cup. France have got 6, 7. Where are the players who are going to make something happen? And I don't want to go there, but I'm going to. Cole Palmer. Trent. Like, you've left these players at home. The right-back position. It's almost criminal that we're having to play Spence there. Spence doesn't start at right-back for Tottenham, who finished 17th. And I'm looking at it going, what's going on? What am I watching? Madueke doesn't get to the byline, pulls it back to Spence. Spence doesn't want to cross the ball. It's not his game. It's not his game. He's athletic. He'll defend well. It's not his game. I'm sitting here and I'm like, all of a sudden, the best part of the game where we looked all right was when Declan Rice went right back and Saka played right wing because they had a connection. And if Saka tried to get to the byline, it didn't happen. Come back to Rice and Rice puts the ball in the box. And it's like, how have we not took Trent? How? It's going to go down as one of the worst World Cup squad picks ever. Ever. That Trent hasn't gone. Cole Palmer must be sat in O Beach in Ibiza laughing that he's not involved in this squad. Laughing. Because we are terrible. We're terrible.
We are terrible. We are terrible. There's no getting away from it. One thing I will
Harry
say,
Kane gets us out of a hole.
He does. And Bellingham, the pair of them have got us through to where we are right now. And without those two, we're absolutely shot to pieces.
Official broadcast partner of the 2026
In a
FIFA
century
World
of World Cups, it's not just the football that's changed. Stadiums have gone from concrete behemoths to technological
With
marvels.
your latest sports headlines, I'm Charlie
Giants'
Pritchard. Good
monolithic
afternoon.
arenas
A
helped to
hostile
define
Mexican welcome
tournaments.
for England as home fans instantly
Back in
found the team
1930,
hotel.
the world
There's also
embraced
an
its greatest
unprecedented police
spectacle for
and
the
army
first
presence
time.
there.
Uruguay
FIFA had
was the
considered
host,
moving their
and
upcoming
in
kickoff
just
time
90
to avoid
days,
severe
they built a stadium that's still there today. It was a gargantuan effort to pull together the 90,000 capacity Estadio Centenario, one of only 3 venues for that tournament that would act as a monument to 100 years of Uruguayan independence.
Like I've touched on,
if that was the World Cup's birthplace, Mexico City's Estadio Azteca became its cathedral. Some of the World Cup's most iconic moments happened on this grass,
Jesse Marsh says Morocco
including
will be
this, of
formidable
course.
opposition in tonight's
Also,
last
both
16 game in
Pele
Houston.
and
Canada will have
Maradona
to beat the team
lifted
who
the
knocked out
trophy in
Netherlands
the
on penalties
Azteca.
in Monterrey.
A bit of
Marsh
pub
was at
quiz
that
ammo
match
for you
and knows
there.
the
You're
scale of the
welcome.
task.
In England,
We wanted
there's
to
no
get
more
to a
special
point in the
place
tournament
to
where we were
us
playing
than
against some
Wembley,
big
the
opponents,
scene of
and
our
Morocco is
greatest
exactly
triumph.
that. When I was
And
at
yes,
the
it
match down
definitely
in
was a
Monterrey,
goal.
the
Some
confidence that the
incredible
team
stadiums
had, the
across the world
swagger
have
they played
hosted
with,
matches, but you
we
don't
know
have
we're
to
in
have a
for
modern-day
massive
spaceship
challenge
of a
against
ground
really
to make it
talented
memorable.
team.
Take
Elsewhere in the cricket, on the day
2006,
that
for example,
Vivek
and
Suryavanshi
here,
became the
the
youngest
memories
player
of what
ever to
happened
play
at
for India
Berlin's
at 15
Olympia
years of age.
Stadion show
He
events
impressed
on
early
the
on, hitting 2
pitch
sixes,
can
but his
elevate the
debut
stadium
came to
in the
an
minds of
untimely
fans
end after being
worldwide.
stumped by Joss
But
Butler
that
whilst
doesn't
going
stop us
for
from
another
marvelling
maximum.
at modern
And at
triumphs
Wimbledon,
of
Belgium's Elise
engineering.
Mertens has
Let's
beaten
jump ahead to
2022 champion
Qatar and
and
take a
second
look at
seed
this.
Elena
The
Rybakina on
Lusail
court number 1.
Stadium.
Britain's
This
last remaining
gorgeous
hope in the
golden
singles
bowl
draw
hosted
after
the
Ferry is
frankly
struggling against
unbelievable
Belgium's
final in
Bergs. He's a
2022.
set down.
But
Get
that's
more
not where it
at
ends in
talksport.com.
Qatar. Take Stadium 974, for example. This place was built from shipping containers and can be taken down and built somewhere else. Mad. It's crazy to think that we've gone from building giant concrete bowls to what is basically modern art. To be fair, some concrete bowls, like the American art, are art in its most flawless form. The teams and the players are why we all come. But sometimes the stage they perform on ends up being the main character. And with structures like this, it's hardly a surprise.
talkSPORT. Every young and interesting of World Cup football. He's done it again. Interrupted full match commentary on every single game of the tournament. Official broadcaster of the FIFA World Cup 2026. World Cup Weekender. In football, we trust on talkSPORT.
Yes, good afternoon. If you're just joining us, welcome to the World Cup Weekender with me, Jonny Owen, alongside my good buddy Sean Dyche. Coming up soon, we'll be talking about the future for Burnley and Scotland and giving out some of the songs that made out our summer mixtape. If you want to add a song or name your favourite World Cup player, send us on WhatsApp on 03717 223344 or text 81089. And coming up next, we're joined by a man who knows all about playing at the top level of football on the World Cup Weekender on talkSPORT. Yes, we're very lucky now to be joined with another one of my buddies, and Sean's buddy, is Stephen Reid. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Rido, Johnny. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much indeed. Diolch yn fawr iawn. What are you, Rido? Rido!
Come on, son.
How have you been, mate? What have you been up to?
All good, all good. As Sean would know, I've been sort of taking a different direction at the minute over the last couple of years after coming out of Forest. As you know, Johnny, so I've been training to be a counsellor for the last couple of years and finally getting to the end stages of that. It's been quite a journey.
Oh, fantastic.
One of his cases, so good.
First client sat next to me right here.
Yeah, your guinea pig.
Forest. He said, I know how that feels. Different reasons, though. Different reasons.
That's brilliant. Tell us a little bit about this, the different path you've taken.
To be honest, it probably comes from my own journey.
Yeah.
Like what I went through as a youngster. Not just even my journey in football. I think there's this perception that, you know, people think it was the football journey and it was a struggle, but it goes back long before that. Always had support, had my own experiences with counselling from a young age, and it was always something that I needed when I played, that additional support. And it was just something else that I wanted to do. I just didn't want to be the footballer, the coach. I wanted something else to run alongside that.
I think it's a massively valid thing now. You know, I mean, I'm from that generation. It was almost like just get on with it.
Yeah.
But that didn't make it right.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It did sort of get you through it, and you did build resilience, and you did build sort of a mental probably state to get things, get through it. But it wasn't right. It doesn't make it right. You know, everyone sort of thinks, yeah, but you did just get on with it, and that made you you. And you go, yeah, but it doesn't mean it felt great.
And that's sometimes a bit of a challenge that I've got. Did some of that actually make me the player that I was?
Yeah, because you sort of need some of it, don't you?
Yeah.
But how do you measure it? How do you measure the bit you need against the bit you don't need? How do you measure the knocks that come your way that do make you the real you? But what about the ones that hurt you? You know, really hurt you?
Yeah.
And I'm not just about, you know, people may presuppose I'm about fans. I don't mean that. I mean your own journey. You know what it's like. You know, the pressure you put on yourself, by the way, to be successful and all that.
Yeah.
And so I don't think you can measure the right amount.
No.
Some of it I think is valid, and I think there are cases in the modern world. I'm only going to use sport because we're both, you know, well, you love it and we've both been in it. I think there are cases, it is valid sometimes, where it is a bit, come on, you know, get on with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because we can bend and lean too much sometimes.
But there is still that for me as well. There is some of that.
I was going to say,
what I got through.
Yeah, it's hard to know.
You've just
isn't
got
it?
to dig in and find a way.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a tool. It's not.
No.
Maybe that
It's
support.
not a crutch, is it?
No.
But it's there.
Sometimes you just got to get through it somehow.
Yeah.
Some of what I went through, I've no idea how I got through it.
Yeah.
I just found a way.
And it does make you you.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that the hardest thing now, there's that much other pressure that's so new to these young. I'm just going to use footballers, right? Young footballers as a case in point.
Yeah.
It's sort of like they don't always understand the bit that makes them them.
No.
And then they lean on something when you go, hang on, you don't need that yet. But how do you measure that? I think the modern footballer, like I say, I'm only going to speak about footballers on this occasion, not about life, because that's what we both know, or certainly I know. How do you know the bit that makes you resilient without going through it? But then what about the bit that is too much for you? And I think that's where the counselling comes in, and the support is someone else to bounce off of.
Yeah, and I think you said something really pertinent earlier on, Sean, where you said, you know, you were talking about the altitude and what Thomas Tuchel has to do with the players, and he said, look, you know, I tried to keep it away from the players as much as possible to get it out of their, you know, clear their minds. But he said it's impossible now with social media.
Yeah.
And I think social media is the one huge dynamic that's changed, especially for kids coming through, because, you know, listen, I don't want to get political. We've gone through so many. When I was a kid, a prime minister was a prime minister for like a decade, wasn't it?
Yeah,
now they've gone through them, like, you know, and football managers. There's something changed in the dynamic because of social media and kids, you know, they ban them. Yeah. But it's almost like there was more pressure on kids and players and all these things coming through because these extra voices were out there, amplified. And listen, I'm sitting here now and we're reading off text. So it's part of our world, but it does add a different kind of pressure, I think, as well, you know?
Yeah, social media, I think the rewards obviously there. I think the kids coming through now, parents can be a problem.
Yeah.
You know, we're seeing the rewards and maybe pushing them too much. But again, the social media one now and this Project Footballer stuff and kids going on social media 8, 9, 10, obviously not so much now, but just that pressure from so young, seeing what everyone's doing, what they're wearing, where they're going on holiday. Like you've seen it at the minute, even on my Instagram, you're seeing all the footballers, how they're spending their summer.
Yeah.
You know, when I played, and definitely Sean, it was, you know, I knew what my favourite player wore on his feet. You know, John Barnes knew he wore Diodoras.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of the
rest of
other
his
stuff.
life. Yeah.
You know, it's Match Magazine. It was
Shoot.
You know, Shoot. Maybe that bit before me. That
me and Sean, Roy of the Rovers. Me and Sean.
Last Saturday, I know, like, and he's going he called me Sean for one. I found it easy. He never calls me Sean. And I said, Sean, who's Sean? And I my mum calls me Sean. You know, he goes, like, Sean here. Yeah, come on, Ray, turn it in.
Dyche, man.
We're 55 last weekend, and he's 55 this weekend. So
sorry, won't happen again.
Yeah, use off the gas.
Gaffer.
Yeah. No, what's joking apart? It's not. Well, currently, this one thing I haven't spoken to you about. Is it specialist? What you're going into specialist to football? Really? Are you offering that advice because you've been seen it, done it, and now you've got the skill set from your learning to go and give that back?
Yeah.
You don't have to name names, but
I want it to be.
Yeah, you are actively working with some players, aren't you? Yeah,
but not as at the minute, not as a qualified counsellor.
No.
Just kind of mentoring
on the journey sort of thing
and support. And I do want to go in sport. It's the area that I know inside out. The challenges, the finance, the pressures, the expectations, all of that stuff. So I do want to do that. But at the minute, it's, you know, I'm on 91 client hours. Got to get to 100. My first client up at Stable Mines in Cheshire was a 84-year-old woman.
Oh, right.
So it's just
that's good for you, right?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a diverse range of clients, but ultimately, I think at the moment, I will be focusing on sport, on big transition. Like, even it's a massive one for me now. It's not off into the sunshine and training to be a counsellor on a go. I still have days now where I struggle or I question what I'm doing. Is it football, isn't it? So I still have that battle ongoing.
Well, I've got it now, Rido, because obviously I'm doing quite a lot of media and people are presupposing that, like I'm done with football because I'm giving in the media. I'm not actually sure my own answer. But sometimes life leads you to an answer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and it just naturally, opportunities open up. So I don't think I'm forcing myself.
That.
Yeah, you know, I'm not. I used to force myself to what, you know, like especially in football, you go, I want to be successful. I want to do this. I want to do that. And now people ask me, I go, no, whatever comes next. You know, I'm mid-50s. I'm going to go, right, okay. You know, my kids are growing up and get my own life back. I'm going, right, what do I want to do? And I'm actually quite open-minded about it. I'm not fearful of it. I used to be like, I've got to keep going.
Yeah.
You've got to keep managing. You've got to be a manager because it defines you.
But the pressure of that, even you saying that, the pressure on yourself.
No, exactly. But I've realised that as I've got older, I can release that pressure on myself a little bit. You know what I mean? You know, and he always says to me, right, because I used to ring him, like this is a few years ago, he's been sort of on this journey when he was coaching me to chat about this stuff, and he used to go, Dyche, man, just be kind to yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right.
Yeah.
Do you remember? And I never thought of it like that, and I thought, you know what,
Well, you are your own worst critic.
Yeah,
that's
you've got a lot of hate on yourself.
Yeah.
And again, sometimes I think you need some of that to get to where you're gonna.
Yeah.
So it's just a balance.
It's a balance,
for me,
isn't it?
When it's too far one way, it's an issue. Too far the other, it's just getting that.
Yes,
that balance somewhere in between.
Yeah, because like I remember, obviously, Reed, I was a young kid, you know, because I was an older pro at Millwall. But the fire he had in him, not just him, there was a group of youngsters there. The fire they had in him, there's no two ways about it. It must have been partly their upbringing. It must have been partly their skill set, but their demand on each other and the demand of the fans. Millwall fans are brilliant, but they can be really harsh on you.
Yeah,
and I think that all added to making you. Yeah. But it can hurt you as well, you know what I mean? And people I never really looked at it at the time, but like this, you know, as you get older, you start thinking these things really more. And obviously, when you're a manager, you have to deal with players a lot and their problems. And fans don't. I don't expect fans. I'll just make this clear: to sit in the stadium and be like thinking, oh, well, they might have had a bad day at the office or whatever. Do you get what I mean? I don't expect that because that's not why you buy a ticket. You buy a ticket to be entertained and to be part of this tribal, you know, group of fans who want to back their club. But if they only knew sometimes the truth of the player and what they're going through in their personal life, their private life, and everyone presupposes, oh, yeah, but they earn a load of money, you go, that can cause massive trouble.
Yeah, of course can, yeah.
Do you know a bit of that one, as I said, I don't think we knew what we was doing. Do you know, like, in a sense, though, we was just playing footy. We didn't know what it was all about. You know, being a professional, obviously we got it a bit, but first thing in the morning, what was we like? Bag of balls, straight out there, smashing balls.
I was doing 5
around.
warm-ups just to get
no
going.
warm-ups, but now you'll have sports science out there pulling you in. Oh, you can't strike the ball too many times. Like, that was my weapon.
Yeah, that's true.
Ball striking.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's not too many crosses, not too many shots.
You can't edit too many times.
Not
And
too
there's
many
a lot of
headers.
rules.
Get 'em in.
There's a lot of rules and pressure on the rules,
Yeah.
really. You know, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, it's hard to explain this all in one little chat.
Yeah, it is. It's good. It's very interesting what you're saying.
Yeah,
Steve,
for our
about
listeners,
this
you know, it's
balance you've got about making it, because life is tough, right? We all know that. That's just a fact. I always remember my old man. Obviously, I talk about him a lot, but he worked underground in the steelworks, and he was from an industrial age. And I can remember saying to him, it was a brilliant lesson. I realised it was about 7. It was when the lottery first came out, so I'd have been like early 20s, and I remember the jackpot was like £8 million, and I went, "Oh, I'd love to win that." And he went to me, "So what would you do with that?" And I went, "Oh, I'd go to Barbados and I'd be drinking cocktails on the beach." And he went, "Yeah, okay. Well, what would you do the next day?" Yeah. And I was like, "I'd have more cocktails." And he went, "Okay, you're hungover now. What about the third day?" And I was like, "Yeah." He says, "Well, you're going to be on the beach the rest of your life." And I realised he had a point. You can have too much money and you can have nothing to do. You can have no purpose, no motivation. So the tough things in life sometimes can be what you need to get you motivated, to sort of motor you through life in a weird way. You've got to sort of say to yourself, "I got to do this and I got to do that." It was his way of saying to me, "There's no such thing as just sitting on a beach forever." It just doesn't. That's
very few people can have.
Yeah, you'll be bored as well. You'd be, and with nothing to do, you have no purpose. And what would you end up being?
Because too little's a problem.
Yeah.
I remember you saying I think I'd come out of Palace and had a break from it.
That's right.
And after a month or two, quite enjoying this bit of freedom, doing what I want to do. But 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, when you're waking up with no purpose,
no
motivation.
purpose,
yeah.
And I remember you telling me at the time, just make sure that you're ticking over, or you got something. Going on, because,
routine or active.
It's
exactly
something
that.
to get up for every day. We're going to go to the break.
Yeah, of course.
Stay with us because Stephen's going to be with us for the second half as well.
We've already established you're a deluded Arsenal fan. What do you make of Morgan Rogers and £130 million?
You know what? I saw O'Hara going absolutely mad on was it? He was somewhere. He was talking. Yeah, and he was talking about the prices, etc. And I do actually think he's right, man. I think the prices have gone absolutely crazy. But it's one of those where, as crazy as it is, number one, it's not my money, and number two, football makes so much money. They're only going to spend where they think they can get the money back. So as much as it's crazy for us and we go, "Oh my gosh, these crazy prices," they're making money selling people's shirts on the back end anyway, and all these expensive tickets and everything that's going on. So someone can afford it.
Do you need him though, Joel? Because I agree with Bentley when I've listened to Bentley say that you've got Eze, you've got Odegaard, you've got Ranieri down and coming back, but don't you need a proper left winger? I know Martinelli can do good things, Trossard, okay, but wouldn't that money be well spent elsewhere?
I think he's so good that if he's available, you take him. I really do. I think in the Premier League,
130 million.
It's not my money. If they can afford it,
but that will
why
take.
do we care?
Because I'm guessing you've only got a certain amount of money to spend in this window, and 130 million will be a huge chunk of it. Wouldn't you rather spend that chunk of it on a left-sided midfielder?
It depends on who's available, though, Andy. Like nowadays, who's available? If I was to ask you, who do we get? If it's not him, who?
Nico Williams.
I mean, that would be amazing.
Barcola.
He's signed a contract though with.
Yeah, he don't want to leave, does he? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's look, Kvaratskhelia, however you say his name, he would have been brilliant like a couple of years ago, but we missed the boat on that. I don't want Rafael Leao. The option of Rashford, I've been hearing, but.
What does it say about the Eze transfer, though, Joel? If you're going for Morgan Rogers now, after Eze signed last summer, what does it say about that transfer?
Yeah, but Eze is more central, though. Morgan Rogers, I'm not saying he doesn't play central, but I'm assuming...
He plays his best stuff in the centre, mate, not in the left.
talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2. Official broadcasting of the FIFA World Cup 2026. With full uninterrupted commentary of tonight's football on talkSPORT. Paraguay versus France. 10 p.m. The 2026 FIFA World Cup live on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2.
Jonny Owen here with Sean Dyche on a World Cup weekend. We're joined with Stephen Reid, ex-Ireland international, Scotland coach. We'll be chatting about that with him. But everybody's talking, well, a lot of people are talking about England's right-back situation. Former England international Kyle Walker joined Jason Cundy and Darren Bent on World Cup Game Day Live on Thursday and was asked if he would be ready to go into England squad at right-back.
Yeah, I feel good. I'm back in pre-season. You know, I'm back in pre-season.
Yeah.
Did the yo-yo test. I'm good to go. Yeah, I'm good to go. But I when you look at the names that we've had in the competition that I would say that I've had to fight off for so many years now, with trips, the likes of Reece James coming up and doing so well, Trent playing at Liverpool, winning Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues, and to be in this situation now, and I look at it as the England team, and I look at it, they've got one natural fullback. With Jed Spence. Nico O'Reilly's not a natural fullback. No. He's a midfielder. Obviously, he's done extremely well at Man City, and, you know, rightly so, he's in this England team. But to learn your trade as a fullback, it's not over a season. It's over years of, you know, being tested against probably, or if not the best players in the world.
Stephen, there's always something that comes up every major tournament. There's always a big question about England, and it's the right back. Have you got any views on it?
Well, it's a problem. And when he picked the squad, actually, he picked Livramento, Reece James, obviously top quality players, but susceptible to injury.
Yeah.
So you've got an issue there, and it's a big issue now. I mean, I worked with Jed. Obviously, remember the time working with Jed at Nottingham Forest, and incredible. And I know he has got a little bit of stick. And I think actually in both fullback positions there's a slight issue, because actually watching the goal back the other day, I actually, for me, looked at the left back getting out. I'm going to go into football a little bit.
Yeah.
He's come out a little bit too soon. Yeah. Two centre backs have shifted across.
He did.
Jed has to come in.
He did.
And then can't make up the distance to get out.
Yeah.
What he does next, I'm not too sure. Do you take Rice out of midfield but lose the engine and the physicality in there? To be honest, I don't know. But it's an issue.
I mentioned about trips, but that's only because, you know, I've dealt with him, worked with him and all that. But Kyle Walker, I was just checking now on my phone when we came back on. He played 36 games last year. So, you know what I mean? You forget he's up and running. You know what I mean? Now, he might not have been the Kyle Walker that he once was, but for me, he knows the script. He knows what it is. You know what I mean? He knows how to deal with it. Another guy around the camp who's been there, seen it, done it a little bit. I mean, I'm surprised by Jed Spence being there, but I make this clear because I said this in the beginning, just because I didn't think he had an amazing season. Nothing to do with whether he's a brilliant player or not, just because I didn't think he had an amazing season. And I agree. What was the cover? Where was the cover angle? Yeah. So if you're seeing something as a manager, right, and your staff that's what I'm not seeing, which is fair, because Tuchel's got a different view of these players, of course. So he'll have seen something that he wanted in the camp. But there has to be a reliability factor, doesn't there? You know, I think you can't go to a tournament. Well, you know better than me, because he obviously has been with Scotland, right? Yeah. You are looking at your runners and riders, surely, in your squad. You're going, right, who are the ones that are your fail-safes? Do you know what I mean? And then you might bring along a Jed Spence who, you know, might be the wild card. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? But it felt a bit like he's bringing him along to almost play, you know, I know injury to James, of course, but, you know, let next in. And then there's pressure on Jed Spence. Funny enough, we were just talking about it. He must be feeling it. He must be thinking, God, this is a bit weird.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, and they put him in a... Now, don't get me wrong, brilliant he's going there for him, and he'd been buzzing to be there, I'm sure. But you get what I mean? He's then going... I bet he's questioning himself now, because all the furore around it. But deep down, I was saying earlier, Reid, before you come on, does Tuchel now stay strong and go, no, you're playing again? You know, no panic, you're playing again. And give him strength, you know, as a manager. To almost go, no, Cliffy would have. You know, he's like, Cliffy said, no, you're the right player, you're playing. But it's a big decision. Yeah. Big decision. I'm not sure which is the answer. You know, it's a tough one. That's why he's England manager. That's his job.
Because the changes that he's kind of... And then all of a sudden Rice is had to fill in at right back, and then it all becomes a little bit...
Yeah, everything goes out of kilter a little bit.
Like how Trent, you might have spoke about it already, but...
Yeah,
how, for the life of me, he cannot be in that squad or playing.
Yeah, but I wonder, do you think there's something behind what we
has to
see?
be?
Yeah, because
it has to be.
I agree. He's a top player, whatever you think.
I mean, talking about...
Is there something behind the story? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we don't know how these personal relationships go.
Because that's the big bit. You're away for 4 to 6 weeks with the squad, and it's as much about having the right... I get that. the right blend of characters to kind of carry you through. But at the same time,
you need quality. You need your best players.
You need quality,
Yeah, and so, I mean, we're going to have to talk about Scotland. I mean, a disappointing World Cup for them at the end. What were your views on that, Stephen?
I was gutted for Steve. Obviously, worked alongside him for a couple of years. So gutted for him. I think he wanted to obviously get to that, qualify for 3 tournaments, wanted to take that next step and get out the group. But again, I look at the third game, and you'll know as a gaffer, Dyche, that first 20 minutes is out of his hands. Obviously, Scott McKenna makes an error. Jack Hendry gets away with one, not a foul.
Yeah.
Angus Gunn comes out for the cross, doesn't get there. All of a sudden, you're 2-0 down, and it's game over. Nothing you can do from the sideline to do anything about that.
Same, Rito, with you being in the camp and knowing what it's like, the point that me and Jonny spoke about the other week, and it seems a weird view, I'm not sure I explained it very well, I'll attempt to again, but the overpowering nature of how good the fans has been, I've felt the media almost like, come on then, Steve, why aren't the players going? You go, because the fans have been brilliant, doesn't make the players brilliant all of a sudden. They haven't all suddenly become world-class players because the fans are brilliant.
Yeah.
And it almost like, I think he felt like he was sort of defending the team rather than just talking about the team. And then it comes across a bit weird, and then it's a bit odd. I mean, I personally, I back the job he's done in the bigger picture. He's done a brilliant job. And I saw Big Duncan Ferguson talking about going, as he just stepped out too soon, was he a bit emotional about it all. But he never comes across like that to me. He comes across so level-headed that I wonder whether at the back of his mind he thought this would be my last tournament. I don't
Possibly.
know.
I think a bit of the reaction. We've had a couple of messages we've not spoke, but I think some of the reaction from back home, was getting a little bit stick. Probably.
I mean, he was pretty vicious, actually, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I mean
that's the thing when it goes. Rito, going back to what we're talking about, mental health and awareness and all that.
Yeah,
there's a line.
Yeah.
For every manager, for every player, for every not just. Well, I'm only going to use football yet again. I know there's people who do marvellous things in life. You know, there's a life. They'll all have a line. I call it the truth line.
Yeah.
What's the truth of you? Where you go, that's enough.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe
everyone's got that.
Yeah.
Haven't they? Got that line where
maybe he hit the moment. He went, that's enough. I've given what I can give. That's enough. I'm not taking any more. You know what I mean?
And again, social media amplifies it. I remember when Wales went out the last World Cup quite disappointingly, and Robert Page got us to 2 major tournaments, man. First manager ever.
Brilliant.
And then people were starting to go, oh, Bale's leg. I mean, don't you can't start having to go Gareth Bale. But memories are short in football. And then McTominay, who had that terrific game against Denmark, suddenly it's like, oh, well, he hasn't turned up for this World Cup. You just think, God, it's like, it's so, like Roy Keane says all the time, it's brutal sport at the top, isn't it? It's just brutal. It just changed. It went from Scotland, they won the game against Haiti. You think, oh, they're going to have enough to get on you. The fans are all enjoying it, and then bang.
Could have had a couple of penalties in the second game.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's, it does make me laugh sometimes because getting to the tournament's enough until you get there. Yeah. And then it's, get out of the group. That's enough. Until you're there. Then it's
and then it's failure, and you're like, hang on a minute.
And actually, in the bigger picture, 3 tournaments qualified for.
Amazing.
He's done an incredible job. It'd be great to see him, maybe having one last crack at a decent club job as well.
And what do you think in Scotland? There's rumours about David Moyes, isn't there? Ever seen that? I mean,
that might be time. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would have to be and you obviously know him a lot better than me, but it'd have to be that moment, something that he's always wanted to have done.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure the Scottish FA, you see some of the names on the short list, they're not going to be able to pay these type of managers.
No, he'd want to do it. He'd want to do it because he wants to do it.
This is something I've always wanted to do.
Yes.
I'm just going to go through it.
Yeah, people forget that these jobs, they don't pay like the Premier.
No, they don't. No,
by the way, not that David Moyes, I'm not remotely saying
England do.
Not
Scotland and Wales.
Yeah. I'm not putting words in David Moyes' mouth, and I know you're not. He's a wealthy guy. He's done a brilliant job. He's done another great job at it now. But he'd have to want to do it. I know what you mean. It wouldn't be for money, that's for sure. He'd want to do it because maybe it's his final. It's final. Yes.
I'll tell you who might be an outsider for it. Who's managed, players respect him. He's hungry. Could be just as a kind of off the bat one. Might be Stephen Naismith, who's assistant to Steve. Sometimes the Welsh sometimes. That's an opportunity job for a lot of managers.
Yeah, it is.
To take it, former players perhaps.
Yeah.
And then they usually at some stage move on.
They do.
It could be one like that because, as we've said there, the type you look at the list, and the Scottish.
It's got to be a passion job, isn't it? You're right. It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be coming in and just quickly in Ireland. I mean, what's the story there? Is it a bit like Wales? We've just got to go back and try and just cry and
tell you, Jonny, you can vouch. UEFA are just phoning me. You can see that's bizarre. So maybe live
the Scotland job.
I'm offered the Scotland job. Look, UEFA are just phoning. How random is that?
It is.
That's actually real. Look, that's mad, isn't it?
Yes,
there you go.
Yes.
Oh well.
I mean, Ireland.
Sorry.
A bit like Wales. They got through the playoffs. It's qualifying for countries like that, isn't it?
It is. It looks a real struggle because as the years have gone on, they're slipping further down. The rankings becomes more difficult to qualify. Having said that, obviously the tournaments now has more teams, but look at the quality of the squad, of the team, and I think what we always had when I was playing for them would be 3 or 4 standout Premier League players.
Yeah.
And a starting 11 were regular Premier League players, throughout. And even going into the 21s, we was all playing at least at championship level on a regular basis. You kind of go through that squad now and you're sort of missing that sort of real quality, that world-class quality of a Robbie Keane, of a Damien Duff, of a Roy Keane, you know.
Well, I was saying that about the Scotland squad, the squad and the fact that when this World Cup, and I wouldn't be disrespectful, they've got some really good players, but there's a difference between being a really good player and you get to the World Cup, you need that front third quality, that real cutting edge. That's the difference. And with all due respect, I don't think Scotland have got that tallis person.
Right.
The one he is the one that makes a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some really good pros, really solid, but very good players, but not, you know what I mean? Not that one with just that bit more.
Yeah.
Like with Kane, he's got that bit more. I know. Kane. Having a front to your team like Kane, people don't. I mean, down the years, imagine.
We've got to go to the break, but you know what? I really wish he was Welsh.
That's a great way to put it. Brilliant.
He shouldn't get beat near post, mate. He should not get beat near post. I'm not having it.
That football saying has been knocking around since I was a kid. Right? In that situation, there's no defender in front of him. He's had a touch. He's got his head up. He's got the goal to aim at. He can go that way. He can go this way. Pickford knows that. Stop saying he shouldn't get beat.
No, but, all right, okay, right.
Are you saying it's a crime?
No, he shouldn't get beat. He shouldn't get beat.
Why not? Why not?
Right, stand there. Right, we've got 2 posts here. Right, that's a goal. Right, please, for me.
What's the goal?
Well, there's the goal. You got a post there and you got a post there. All right, talkSPORT's the goal. All right.
So that's their post.
Yeah, you got.
That's their post.
Yeah, right. You got your Seaman shirt on, right? Okay. Right. I'm the Congo player.
I'm set.
Well, no, you're not set because you're in the middle of the goal. You got to set. You're standing there.
Hold on. That's the post.
That's the near post.
I'm happy.
No, you're not happy.
I'm happy.
No, you're not happy.
What's that?
What do you mean? That's the back post. Don't worry about that. You don't need the mic. All right. People can hear you.
Where are you?
I'm here. I'm the Congo player. I've got the ball.
Get back a bit.
Right. I'm here.
Yeah.
You're standing in the middle of the goal for one. You're in the wrong place.
I'm happy.
No, you're not happy.
I'm happy.
You're not happy.
I'm happy.
Okay, well, I'll score near post.
Okay, but you can score there as well.
No, but that's not where you stand. You stand there.
Okay, I stand here.
No, you don't stand outside the post, do you? You stand next to the near post.
Okay.
I shouldn't score there.
Okay.
I should not score there.
Where's he going to score?
If he scores there, in the top corner.
No, forget top corner. Where's some top corner?
If he scores there, there's more space. It's a better strike. Yeah. It goes across the keeper.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good goal.
So what's wrong with that?
But that's not where Pickford's standing.
Well, he is.
He's not.
That's exactly where he stood.
He's not stood there.
No, I'm not having it, mate.
What do you mean you're not having it?
I'm not having it.
You don't get beaten in the near post.
It's a football saying which needs to be outlawed, right? In a 1v1
situation. Near post.
Stop saying it. What a goalkeeper can get beat near post.
He can't.
He can.
He can't.
In that situation, he can.
talkSPORT News.
With your latest headlines, I'm Charlie Pritchard. Good afternoon. A campaign's advising parents and carers to adjust privacy settings on social media to stop images of their children being used to create AI-generated sexual abuse material. More than 3,400 videos were made by artificial intelligence last year, compared to just 13 the year before. Now, one of NHS England's top doctors is warning misinformation online is becoming a real threat to public health. Medical Director Professor Frankie Sword says people are seeking out answers from unreliable sources and opting for completely unproven miracle cures. It's one of the reasons why the Health Service is launching its own TikTok channel. Rebecca Curtin is from Health Watch England.
The social media platforms or the people posting on them, their motives aren't always clear. So are they trying to sell you something? Are they trying to promote medication that's not licensed for use in the UK? Or are they even trying to get you to spread misinformation to sow social division?
Elsewhere, the Duchess of Sussex and her 2 children will not join Prince Harry when he visits London next week, with reported concerns remaining about security. Harry's due in Birmingham to mark the countdown for next year's Invictus Games for wounded veterans. And another heatwave is on the way, with 34 degrees forecast in some areas this week. The Met Office says temperatures will increase in the coming days, peaking on Thursday with the warmest conditions in the southeast. Hosepipe bans have been announced for Kent, Hampshire and the Isle of Wight.
Talk Sport.
There's been an upset in the women's draw at Wimbledon. 2022 champion Elena Rybakina is out after a straight sets loss to Belgium's Elise Mertens. And in the cricket, India are nearing the end of their first innings against England at Old Trafford. Sam Ellard's watching.
13 overs gone. India 130 for 3. Vaibhav Suryavanshi on international debut, stumped by Will Jacks for 14, hitting 2-6. Abhishek Sharma got the innings off to a quick start, smashing 43 off 24. Liam Dawson just got Shreyas Iyer for 37 off 22. Ishan Kishan yet to really get going. He's 29 off 22, and Tilak Varma is just about to come to the crease. A decent platform set though for India. 13 overs gone. India 130 for 3.
Harry Kane's football revolution continues on talkSPORT.
Harry Kane, Harry Kane. England's captain, courageous, leading by example again. I only want to see you scoring in the next big game.
So long as we've got Harry Kane, we've got a chance.
Mexico versus England, Monday morning from 1 a.m.
One man, Harry Kane.
On talkSPORT. All the blistering big match build-up. World Cup Weekender on talkSPORT. Win 26 grand in your hand, courtesy of talkSPORT Win.
Yes, talkSPORT have commentary of every single game from the FIFA World Cup 2026, and to celebrate, we're giving you the chance to win £26,000 in cash. And the best part, it's completely tax-free. That's right, £26,000. Continue England's winning feeling and enter now. Here's how. For your chance to win, visit talksportwin.com or text WIN, W-I-N, to 83338. That's 83338 by 6 p.m. on the 20th of July 2026. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or send your name and number by post to Comp1 PO Box 3190 Colchester CO28GP to arrive by midnight on the 23rd of July 2026. 18 plus, UK residents only. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksportwin.com. There you go. It's the first time I've said post for ages. You can post in. Just for a while. Goodness. Here we go. Time now to catch up on the odds thanks to Sky Bet.
Football form roundup on talkSPORT with Sky Bet. The world's gone football. Get in on it with Sky Bet. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Okay, we're joined now by Michael Shinners from Sky Bet to look at today's football and discuss the latest odds.
Yeah, hello, buddy. How are you doing?
How you doing, Michael? You all right, mate?
Yeah, very good. I think, after last night's Cape Verde Argentina game, I think most football fans have got they've got a favourite player or a favourite team. Well, certainly bookmakers have got a favourite team in this World Cup because Cape Verde came up trumps again for us. Drew with Spain earlier on in the competition, drawn a couple of other games, and then to draw with Argentina yesterday. We had 2,147 very loyal customers who backed them again to draw at 17-2, so sort of just short of 9-1, and they came up trumps. But it was a good evening for us yesterday.
And what about the Canada versus Morocco match? Prices and boost.
Yeah, Canada, Morocco. Morocco probably, arguably, still slightly underrated. They're favourites, odds on with ourselves at 7-10. The draw at 5-2, and Canada at 9-2. We've got a boost in this one. So Brahim Diaz, obviously the fantastic Madrid winger, and Jonathan Davis of Juventus, but obviously of Canada as well, both to have a shot on target. That includes extra time. So if it goes to extra time, that extra half an hour you've got. But it's 2-1 for both of those to get a shot on target.
Brilliant, Michael. And we got France versus Paraguay. What are the match prices? Mbappe looking for more goals.
Yeah, absolutely. France, very, very short price, as you would imagine, 1-7. And they've scored at least 3 goals in all 4 of their games. They're 15-8 outright favourites to win the competition, but 1-7 to win tonight. The draw 6-1 and Paraguay at 17-1. Mbappe, just about favourite in the Golden Boot market, but if you fancy him tonight to score goals, he's a short price, 4-7 to score any time, 2-1 for a first goal scorer, and then he's 13-5 to score a double, which he's obviously done a few times so far in the tournament.
Thank you, Michael. That was a look at the latest odds thanks to Sky Bet, 18+, gambleaway.org.
Football form roundup on talkSPORT with Sky Bet. Download the Sky Bet app and get in on it with Sky Bet, 18+, gambleaway.org.
They've got in the script here, boys. Have a little chat about music now. I'm like, that's all right, isn't it?
Are we allowed?
They're all nodding. Yeah,
Rito's got a bit, to be fair. Rito's got a bit. He's very, very open-minded about music.
We've been having a bit of a mixtape, sort of a summer barbecue idea of a mixtape. I had some good responses, actually. Trevor East texted in because we played Got to Get You Into My Life by the Beatles, which was a #1 for Cliff Rebel and the Rebel Roses in 1966.
Brilliant.
He remembers it.
Brilliant, yeah.
You're going over my head now, Jonny.
Actually, you Trevor East, the Trevor East, is it?
Yeah.
Trevor East from, that used to be TV.
Yeah.
Trevor East.
Yeah.
Really?
Presenter. Yeah. Just
What a
texted
nice
in now.
fella he is.
Lovely fella.
Yeah.
Pitch
Well,
International, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big company, yeah, that's it.
Blow me.
Blow me.
Oh, you can't say that.
We could talk. I know how you meant it. Yeah, in the traditional sense. Yeah. What's your musical sort of taste, Steve?
At the minute, I'm into as Dyche will know, I like a little trip to Ibiza at the minute. So
nice.
I'm kind of into that at the minute. So I do like black coffee. I went to the O2 with a live orchestra.
Oh, yeah.
So he's at the top of my list at the minute. But
we had a couple of quiet nights there, didn't we? When
usually
I got sacked.
Yeah, usually are. Yeah, we had a nice little trip in that January, didn't we?
In by 7 p.m. Thing is, social media doesn't help. Because it shows the DJ booth at 2 o'clock in the morning and Sean Dyche is in there with a bucket hat on.
Oh, do you know what? Actually, you know what? What about when I landed?
Yeah.
So I landed, needed to head up to the, got an apartment there, so needed to head up, getting a little bit of work done. So came along and picked up Dyche in a little Fiat 500. So if anyone thought it was him, they would have got, this can't be Dyche getting in that Fiat 500.
Nothing wrong with the Fiat 500, but let's make that clear.
Yeah. A few windy roads up there, weren't there?
Just a couple. I'm not kidding. Where it's got a lovely, lovely place, but the north side of Ibiza, some of our listeners will know, is really like the roads at the very.
I know it. I've been there, Portinac.
That's where it is. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
The last maybe couple of miles. Oh my god! It's like a bit of spaghetti on a plate.
It's like the Italian job, the beginning of the Italian job, isn't it?
Yeah. You're a little Fiat 500 or whatever it is, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I've had, let's say, a couple of the night. I'm doing the old, ooh, like really. Yeah. And he went, he said he's caught me out a number of times.
That's done me a few times that road, Jonny.
Nice. I mean, you're going to tell us you're going to see Kasabian later, aren't you?
Yeah. Rito's seen them before with us, and they're brilliant live. But the lineup's great as well at Finsbury Park. So yeah. Serge has been, superb. I mean, I loved him when Tom was there, so no disrespect to Tom. I just think Serge has taken it in his own direction.
Yeah, more dancey now, isn't it?
Yeah, they're kind of changing. I mean, I don't think that's it. I mean, we talk about football, changing styles in football. I don't think it's easy in music, because you got, trying to diversify maybe for a different crowd or a younger crowd, to take Kasabian as a group in a different direction. And I admire that because I don't think it's easy to do that. I'm no musician, but I do love music.
Yeah.
And to branch off and do something different. Because he's had a song with Calvin Harris, which is a good tune and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, me and Rito, we were saying, well, I know you, Jonny, as well, very open-minded about music. I certainly am. I've seen everyone from, I thought Pink was amazing. I saw Rihanna, but then I've seen Metallica.
Yeah.
I've seen Jay-Z. I've seen Drake, Kasabian, Oasis, of course. We had a fantastic night, the first Oasis.
A year today?
Yeah, a year today.
Yeah,
I know. I texted him and said, a year today.
Did you?
Yeah. I said, a year today we were there.
And do you still get the buzz when he texts back? I always do. Yeah. He always goes.
I still want to scrap, there's one word I'm going to miss out. It's no Gallagher. Still looking funny. Go, it isn't.
So that's funny for
And what
people
a
to
guy.
hear.
Yeah,
isn't
it is,
You know,
yeah,
some
yeah.
of the names that you'll have on your
Yeah,
on your phone and
I know.
your message.
Sir Alex random, and I'm like, it's Sir Alex Ferguson. And like, every time I look at it, I go, oh, it's Alex. I almost get a little fright on. I go, oh God, what does he want?
He asked my missus once for a selfie. But the first time it ever happened with her.
That story is really funny.
Oh yeah, Vicky. She was dropping us off, and the nephew was with me. And maybe the nephew, he was only 15, and he was like, "I tell you who was in there. Sir Gareth was in there.
Sir Gareth, yeah.
Emery
Sir
was in there. Emery and Sir Alex in there for us to play Manchester United. You might have been there. League Cup game. And my nephew says, he goes, Uncle Johnny, can I go get a selfie? But it's the boardroom. And I'm like, yeah, who do you want? And he went, Sir Alex Ferguson. I thought, fair play to you, son. You know, he knows his football. So I go over and I go, hello, Mr. Ferguson. Sorry to bother you. Very nice. He says, can the boy have a thing? I went, yeah. And as I went to walk away, one of the directors went to him, that's Jonny Owen. He did the boy film The Three Kings. He goes, oh, son, I never realised you were I was like, yeah. So anyway, I got to walk away again a second. The same guy obviously went, and his wife's Vicky McClure. But it's his favourite show on TV. See?
Oh, wow.
So he goes, oh, Line of Duty. But what had happened was Vicky dropped us off and she said, look, whatever happens, Johnny, you know what you like. When I come to pick you up, I'm going to come in a bobble and a fleece shirt and I'm going to pick you up and you got to get out quick. Right? I ain't coming in to say hello. So I go, that's fair enough, love, as long as you're picking us up. She goes, I'm serious, because you know you like somebody to go, come in, so-and-so's in here and wants to meet you. She goes, it ain't happening. She said, I don't care if the king is in there. I was like, no problem at all. So then we leave, and as we get in, I say, Vicky, you're going to have to come back in. And she goes, I am not coming in. And the nephew goes, but Auntie Vicky, it's Sir Alex Ferguson, and he's a fan of yours. She ran out of the She was out the door, ran in. Anyway, we were there about half an hour, like, chatting away, and he was brilliant. And at the very end, I must have been one of the few times he went, can you do, and in a very Glaswegian accent, he goes, can you do me a favour, doll? Can I get a selfie? So he asks Vicky for a selfie. So I got this great photograph of her in a fleece, a Tesco fleece, that she said, her hair in a bobble, grinning with Alex Ferguson. So those are always the best moments. But he was brilliant. He loves talking football.
It's funny, you know, because because of music. I know you know a lot of people in music, and I do now. And it's weird because when I'm with football, because I've grown up with it all my life, it just seems like they're just football people. You know, so you just go, all right,
yeah.
With musicians, I feel like it's a whole different ball game. I love it, and some of the promoters, the managers, and they're almost like me going, "Why are you interested in us?" And
Yes.
Okay, because that.
Just quickly before we go to break, because they love this in the gallery. Just quickly tell us the story of Alex from the Arctic Monkeys coming off stage.
Oh yeah. I've got to keep it quick. So I went to watch the Arctic Monkeys at Leeds, and Melvin Ben, who's another incredibly kind guy who owns Festival Republic and all that. So he'd sorted me out on side stage. So I walked around the back of the side stage. I'm on the wrong side of the side stage. So I walked down just as they finished. So Alex from Arctic Monkeys walking with two minders. So I could see in his face, but I could see him looking, and he's like, I could see in his face going, isn't that Sean Dyche? He went, all right. I said, really good tonight. And he went, yeah, thanks. And he just double checked me, turned around and said, like, and I said, Johnny, I can't believe I've just been double checked of Alex. Right?
And he texted a mutual friend of ours, Chris McClure, and Chris McClure went, Alex, I was walking off stage and I thought one of the roadies looks a lot like Sean Dyche. I did a double take, and he goes, it was Sean Dyche. Listen, after the break, we'll be talking about the England lineup.
Brilliant.
Quick one on Portugal against Croatia. Portugal won 2-1 in the end. Ronaldo, of course, getting his first knockout goal with a penalty straight down the middle. What did you make of the controversial VAR decision?
Well, I think hair's very overrated, don't you, Gab? Very overrated.
I don't think you need it, mate.
No, exactly, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
but
both of you.
Who would have talked? Don't mess with the ball.
So I've got the Mitchell brothers in here.
Well, don't you think in the the marginal gains that in future managers say to all the defenders, whatever. By the way, get your head shaved.
That's a very good point.
It's nonsensical. Honestly, it is so ridiculous that we're talking about a hair follicle and you're talking about Snicko, right? VAR wasn't brought in for that. And when I don't know, you've probably seen it. When you're looking at it, right?
Hard to tell.
The ball doesn't change flight. The spin of the ball doesn't change whatsoever.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I agree with everything you've said. I agree with you. But here's my question. Was it offside?
What, according to Snicko?
Well, according to the laws of football, was it offside?
Not really.
No, because we're not 100% sure that it's actually touched. You know what we're going to do now is, right...
I know, but it was offside, right? I agree with you, Perry. You won't get an argument from me.
Why is it offside?
But because it's touched him.
How do you know it's touched it?
Because the
Snicko
microchip in the ball has told us that.
Yeah, right, so that's how mad that this is, that we're talking about. Everybody thinks you're talking about cricket, number one.
Yeah.
Right, with the Snicko, right?
Yeah.
That's not... Football was about emotions and losing your mind and celebrations and exalted moments with your friends, your family, aunties, uncle, and on the pitch as well. VAR was brought in for Thierry Henry's handball for France against Ireland. That is it. So now they've made themselves so important that we're going to, the minutiae, we're going to go into CSI sort of,
Yeah, I don't like it.
PGMO.
I know, but if we score the winning goal in the World Cup final and it's offside, and then Snickermeter says, actually, hair follicle, you're onside.
Oh, it's the best thing that's ever been brought forward. No, I'm honest. No, I would say, because you have to be...
I agree with you.
You say, that's not football.
You're taking football out of football.
And to be fair, we've got no dog in the fight of that game, have we? I don't really care who wins, who goes through, whatever.
No.
But football fans are just looking at really going, really? Is that what it's coming down to?
talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2, official broadcaster of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Get full uninterrupted commentary of today's game on talkSPORT. Canada versus Morocco. Kickoff 6 p.m. The 2026 FIFA World Cup live on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2.
Always believe in your soul. You've got the power to know you're indestructible. Always believing, 'cause you are gold.
Jonny Owen with Sean Dyche and Stephen Reid. That sounds like the Ibiza remix of Gold, lad. One for you both there in your little Fiat going to Portinax.
You can picture it.
Early hours of the morning,
yeah. Listening to Gold.
Yeah, listen to Gold. So loads going on, boys, around the country sporting wise. So we're going to go to Wimbledon now. We're in the afternoon session. There's been the potential of a huge upset at Wimbledon. Here's Lisa O'Sullivan.
Yeah, I'm going to come to that in a second. First of all, I'll tell you about Arthur Ferry. He is 5 games all in the second set. Dropped the first one to Zizou Bergs of Belgium, named after the great Zinedine Zidane, because that was his dad's nickname. He was called Zizou in the amateur football team that he played in, and his parents thought they were having a girl, so they hadn't picked out a name. That's the one they went for, but it is an absolute doozy right here on centre court. Alexandra Ayala of the Philippines playing the third seed and reigning champion, Iga Świątek of Poland, and it is the 21-year-old who leads 7-6, 5-2 in this second set as she brings up another match point. 11-9 that first set tiebreak. She is an absolute sensation. 120 million people in the Philippines, who are 7 hours ahead of us, will not be doing much more than watching this match and following it on social media. The numbers on social media surrounding Ayala are absolutely astounding. She announced herself this year by getting to the semi-finals in Berlin and won the title in Birmingham a month ago, and here she is on centre court playing an absolute storm against Iga Świątek, and she's fallen to the court as if she's won the title, because this is the greatest result of her career to date. What a win for Alexandra Ayala as she goes to the net and shakes hands. Her eyes, she's got her hands over her face because she can't believe what's happened here. The centre court crowd have absolutely loved it. They've got a new sweetheart to cheer through the championships. Wow, what a day for 21-year-old Alexandra Ayala of the Philippines.
Fantastic. What a day at Wimbledon. And we're now, there's a big rugby union game on this afternoon as well as the Nations Championship gets underway. England face South Africa. And here with the preview of the game is talkSPORT's Alfie Reynolds.
Yeah, hi Jonny. Thank you. England's opening match in the first ever Nations Championship doesn't get any tougher. South Africa, the back-to-back world champions at Ellis Park in Johannesburg, somewhere that England haven't won since 1972. Now, I know there's been a lot of talk about altitude at the Football World Cup ahead of England-Mexico. Well, the rugby team face the same challenge. This game taking place 1,700 metres above sea level. They have at least been in the country for 10 days to acclimatise. But outside of that, England are up against it here. There's no getting away from it. The Springboks have gone as strong as they can in terms of selection, and England have been dealt a late injury blow. George Furbank, who was named at fullback, he's been ruled out. Marcus Smith will instead start at the back, and Henry Slade comes on to the bench. Following today, England's other fixtures, they got a brutal travel schedule these next few weeks. After South Africa, they face Fiji and Liverpool next week, and then they're away to Argentina the week after. We get underway, though, this afternoon at 4:40. Cracker of a game, potentially, is South Africa against England.
Oh, here we are. Some big rugby games this afternoon as Wales are half-time. They're 1 point up against Fiji at the CCS. And humdinger between Australia and Ireland, which Ireland won by 33 points to 31. And another brilliant game this morning as New Zealand beat France by just 2 points, 34 to 32. Also, there's cricket going on at Old Trafford where Sam Ellard is.
India winning the toss, batting first. 3 overs left of their innings. They're 153 for 4 from 17. All eyes are on the debutant, the 15-year-old Vaibhav Suryavanshi. He made 14 before being stumped by Will Jacks. Lots of India batters have made starts, but haven't been able to push on and get that big score. Abhishek Sharma dismissed for 43. Shreyas Iyer dismissed for 37. Shivam Dubey went cheaply for 5. Ishan Kishan, though, batting at 3, is unbeaten on 45 and starting to go through the gears. Tilak Varma, the powerful finisher, has just come to the crease. England at the moment will be happy with where they're at. India going under 10s and over, and it is a quick scoring round here at Old Trafford. 17 overs gone. Tilak and Ishan Kishan at the crease. India 153 for 4.
Thank you, Sam. OK, lads, so we're down to the last few minutes of the show. Been a wonderful afternoon. Thanks so much for all your messages coming in. Sorry we couldn't, I mean, there's just so much going on this afternoon with Wimbledon and the rugby and the cricket. But I'm just going to chat to the boys now about what they think their starting lineup will be for England versus Mexico. I mean, it comes down to a simple thing, boys. Does he stay with it or does he replace the right back?
I think that's the biggest management decision. You know, does he stay true to the player that he thought was going to be the player while he's there, which is Spence?
Yeah,
I can only imagine that's why he took him. I don't see the point if he didn't.
Yeah,
I don't think he will though. I think he'll change it. I think he'll probably go with Pickford. I think Konza might go out there because he's done it for Villa, and done a steady, solid job. Especially if it's more of a, you know, to the altitude and everything. I'd maybe look at the team, you know, going high press. But if they break the press, then you've got to drop, you rebank, and you form a unit, and then you're looking to counter from there. So that's a defensive unit. Stones would then come in. Guy plays. O'Reilly plays. Saka, I'd stick with Saka. Anderson, Rice. The reason is I wouldn't want to take Rice out of there. I just think they're that's a powerful 3 in there. Rashford and Gordon's a tosser. I go either one because I'd be looking for the team to counter with pace. I'll probably stick with Rashford for this one to start anyway, and then Bellingham and Kane who have to play for me. And I mean, from what's available, that's what I do rather than dislodging Rice.
Yeah, I think for me, I've got Saka coming in. Probably Gordon. It's just a toss of a coin. Last game, sorry.
Yeah,
couple of assists. Done a little bit more. It's almost like game to game at the minute. No one's really grabbing the shirt. I think he'd probably stick with Spence, Konza, Gay, O'Reilly. But I was also thinking about that Konza one, and a lot of teams now build up with that back 3, if you like. So Konza might be in, might release, then
O'Reilly
to go a little bit higher.
Attacking. Yeah,
so I can see how that could work.
So just finally, in one word, prediction for the game, Stephen.
I think England could be going home. Yeah, I think Mexico.
I'm nervous of myself.
Yeah, I think in that environment, it's gonna be intense there. The altitude. So I think Mexico.
Sean,
I'm going to stick by us to win.
Mm-hmm.
But my heart's going to be different.
Yeah.
I'm going to go win.
Glad you said heart.
I'm going to go win. I'm going to go win. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go win after extra time.
Well, listen.
I'm going to go win normal time. Sorry, win normal time.
Brilliant. Thanks to you both, boys, for getting involved in the show. Been fantastic. England, of course, face Mexico on Monday the 1st at 1 a.m. and it's live on talkSPORT. Don't forget, every single World Cup game is live across talkSPORT Network. Coming up next is Canada taking on Morocco live on talkSPORT. Thanks for all the birthday messages, especially my mum who's messaged in, and Ash in Prague. Have a lovely day.
Wayne Rooney has just said that Thomas Tuchel should have brought Kyle Walker to this World Cup. That experience and the ability to play at right back rather than have to take Declan Rice out of midfield could have been useful.
I think a Kyle Walker and his pomp would drastically improve this team. I really do.
100%.
Stuart Pearce there and Adrian talking about Wayne Rooney's comments. Carl Walker's in the studio with us. Perfectly timed. What do you make of Wayne Rooney's comments there?
No, I think for Wayne to say that, it's flattering. I think a legend like that to say that about you, it obviously